The vast space before me is the in-game Waldery Forest. The exhausted man struggled to catch his breath. He lifted his head and looked forward. Damn it. A subordinate quickly asked, "After all that, he still hasn't shown up. What do we do?" Solyan coldly declared, "Kill them." Immediately, the man picked up his axe. The poor guy looked utterly hopeless. He fearfully awaited the moment he would be logged out. Suddenly, a familiar figure appeared. The white-haired hero was here. Seeing him finally show up made his teammate rejoice. "Jae-hyun!" The guys around them took notice. "It's Hirkin! Get him if we all gang up on him!" Jae-hyun's gaze was ice cold. He charged forward without hesitation to take care of these guys. None of them were a match for him. All of them had been knocked to the ground. Jae-hyun's voice rang out. "Did you really think ganging up on me would make a difference? You're not good enough to pull it off." This is Hirkan, real name Jae-hyun An of the Ha-Ho Mask Guild, nickname the Hero Killer. His teammate rushed over. "Jae-hyun, I'm sorry, this is all our fault. We never expected them to ambush us here." Jae-hyun shook his head. "You guys have nothing to be sorry for." He slowly extended a hand toward them. A warm smile spread across his face. "I'm fine, get up." His teammates were deeply moved. Jae-hyun, he continued to reassure them. "And honestly, this isn't even our fault. Those pathetic pieces of trash, the ones who can't fight fair, they're the problem." A smug smile appeared on his face. "Isn't that right, you piece of trash?" Seolyeon had been quietly observing the situation from the side. Then she slowly stood up. "How touching. But what good is your friendship? I mean, when you add up a bunch of trash, it's still just a pile of trash." The woman before them is named Sil, real name Seolyeon Che, of the Storm Hunters Guild, nicknamed the Storm Queen. This made Jae-hyun let out an excited laugh. Says the one who got her ass kicked by someone she calls trash. She didn't back down an inch. "You should watch your mouth, or I'll make you cry and regret it." He carefully adjusted his watch. "Regret? Activate slot." A glass pane immediately appeared over his face. Following that, his body was gradually encased in armor. Jae-hyun now looked incredibly cool and powerful. He smiled smugly and declared, "Regret is for the weak, like you." These words sent Seolyeon into a rage. "You insolent bastard, kill him!" He only grew more excited. "Again? Have you learned nothing? You people can never kill." Realizing something was wrong, he stopped abruptly. "What the—" Without him noticing, his teammates had silently struck from behind. Jae-hyun couldn't believe what was happening. A stream of notifications appeared. HP dropping fast. Movement restricted. Jae-hyun slowly collapsed. What? His teammate quickly spoke up. "I'm sorry, Jae-hyun, but we've got to make a living too, you know? No hard feelings." Jae-hyun couldn't believe it was true. "What?" But Seolyeon was clutching her stomach, laughing hysterically. She wiped a tear from her face. "How pathetic. I can't believe you actually fell for their friendship act. As if that means anything when money's on the line. Hirkin, I'm kicking you out of this game. If I kill you every single time you log in, you won't even be able to play now, will you? I hear you're a full-time Warlord God player, and without this game, you're just garbage. How sad. Looks like you're back to being trash again, huh?" Jae-hyun clenched his fists. "Shut up!" he screamed, desperately lunging at her. A bloody scene unfolded. Jae-hyun's eyes widened in disbelief. But Seolyeon spoke with chilling calmness. As his body was completely overwhelmed by their attacks, she continued, "Thank you, everyone." He couldn't believe it. "You... guys... what? This guild was my everything." And then a teammate called out, "Jae-hyun! Just die already. They're paying us millions just to kill you. What did you expect?" Complete despair washed over Jae-hyun. "Is this it? After everything I've done for all of you? You said we were a family." "Damn it, you fucking bastards," he seethed, staring at the enemies before him. System notifications spammed his vision. Warning, you have died. Penalty, 48-hour login restriction. Jae-hyun's eyes shot open. He was finally back in the real world, gasping for breath. He was utterly devastated. I've lost everything." A bit of an explanation about the game called Warlord, the game that took the world by storm. A hyper-profitable, AI-driven VR game. The only thing that made me feel like I wasn't trash anymore. When they first met, a teammate had smiled and said, "What level are you? You're incredible. Want to form a guild with me?" He was silent for a moment. "My only place." Back in the present, Jae-hyun's entire body began to tremble. He shot to his feet. "Unforgivable!" Jae-hyun quickly ran outside. Startling passers-by with his haste, Jae-hyun made a decision. "I'm going to find them and kill them myself. Do they have any idea what I went through? Do they really think they can just carry on without me?" Perhaps because he was in such a rush, Jae-hyun didn't notice the red light. At the same time, a truck came speeding towards him. A tear of despair rolled down Jaehyun's cheek. Damn it. If I'd known it would all end like this, I would have never wasted my time caring about anyone. A horrific scene unfolded before everyone's eyes. Seeing Jaehyun's body on the ground, people screamed, "He just got hit!" He cursed inwardly. Damn it. His phone rang. "The person you are calling is currently unavailable. Please." Complete despair washed over him. Of all the things, to get hit by a garbage truck? No, I can't die here, not yet. Those bastards, they betrayed me. His teammate's cold voice echoed in his mind. Just die already. They're paying us millions just to kill you. What did you expect? He remembered Seolyeon's face. That bitch. She played me. I have to get my revenge on them. Connecting. The space around him started to shift. New notifications appeared. Identifying user. Username, Hirka. Welcome. Jaehyun opened his eyes, not understanding what was happening. A notification appeared. Complete the tutorial. Survive the Minotaur, master of the labyrinth. Staring at the giant monster before him, Jaehyun froze, warlord. What the hell is this tutorial? A voice called out, "Noob, snap out of it and focus. You saw the warning, right? We have to take that thing down together." Just then, the monster charged forward. The group was terrified. "There's no way to solo that thing. It's going to take all three of us to win. Hey, you. Why don't you go tank for us?" He seemed to realize something was off. Wait, a Minotaur? The tutorial boss? But that was removed from the game 5 years ago for being too hard. His teammates turned around, surprised. 5 years ago? What are you talking about? Warlord was just released 10 months ago. Those words left him stunned. 10 months? I see. 10 months, huh? His teammates turned back, surprised. What's wrong with this guy? Forget him, let's focus. On my signal, you... Hey, where are you going? Despite his teammates' calls, Jaehyun paid them no mind. He gripped his sword and charged forward. His teammates called out from behind, "Hey, have you lost your mind?" But he didn't care. At that moment, the monster noticed him. Everyone screamed in panic, "You're going to get yourself killed!" as Jaehyun charged in to attack. The look in his eyes changed completely. With his world-class skills from his past life, he made short work of the giant monster. Jaehyun was clearly on another level. In just a few moments, the monster collapsed to the ground. His teammates were stunned. What the hell? He took that thing down in a single blow. The two of them immediately turned to look at each other. Then they approached Jaehyun. "Hey, you! You've got some serious skills. I don't say this often, but want to join my guild?" Those words suddenly made Jaehyun recall a memory from his past life. His eyes widened in despair. Without a moment's hesitation, he raised his sword. "I've just made a decision." Seeing this, the others were about to say something. A decision? About what? But Jaehyun had already swung his sword, finishing them both off. His expression changed completely. If I ever trust anyone in this world again, then I'm no better than a dog. And so Hirkan, the hero killer, returned. Jaehyun awoke from a long sleep. The surroundings caught his attention. Where am I? The place was bustling with people. Jaehyun realized, a V-Gear store. That's right. 5 years ago, I didn't even have enough money to buy my own gear. I had to play on a display unit here. Does this mean I've really gone back in time? If so, then I can't waste a single second. With that thought, Jaehyun immediately started running. His expression grew intense. I have knowledge of the next 5 years, and all the skills I accumulated. And if I use them correctly, I can get my revenge! Jaehyun hurriedly presented a black card. Give me 1 standard V-Gear set. The clerk took it, surprised. All right, processing your payment now, sir. A bright smile spread across his face. Awesome! Now where should I start? First, I'll grind some levels. The clerk kept calling out to him, Sir! Sir! It says, insufficient funds. Those words made Jaehyun freeze on the spot. He then remembered something wasn't right. His face filled with utter despair. Of course. If I had money, there's no way I would have been playing in a place like this. What do I do now? Do I have to go earn money first? No, that would take too long. Suddenly, Seolyeon's familiar voice rang out. What are you hesitating for? The strongest never fear a challenge. Hesitation is a luxury on the battlefield. Become a War King. Text appeared. Exclusive model for the #1 ranked War King, Thunder Queen Syl. The advertisement continued, Start now, experience the War King. Jaehyun suddenly fell silent for a moment. He recalled Seolyeon's mocking words. Looks like you're back to being a cripple, huh? Jaehyun immediately turned away. Yeah, I'm in no position to be picky. The scene shifts to early evening. The virtual reality machine had been installed inside the house. The technician quickly announced, "The V-Gear is all set up and ready to go. I'll be on my way now." Jae-hyun immediately nodded. "All right." He looked at the card in his hand. "The only way for me to get money." The words on it were clear. Same-day cash loans, a special loan for Warlord gamers, 24/7 consultation, lowest interest rates guaranteed. Jae-hyun thought to himself, this is it. Back then, the gangster had been overjoyed. 10 million won? Of course! We'd be more than happy to lend you that amount. But then he suddenly remembered something. He slammed a knife down between Jae-hyun's fingers. The gangster's expression was incredibly sinister. "If you can't pay us back, your life is going to get real miserable." That threat made Jae-hyun freeze on the spot. He crumpled the business card in his hand. "It doesn't matter, even if I have to crawl through hell. As long as I can smash the faces of those bastards." Even in death, Jae-hyun could never forget the wicked people who had wronged him. He said decisively, in a loud voice, "Log in." System notifications popped up continuously. Verifying user. Confirmed, Hirkin. Welcome back to Warlord. Jae-hyun returned to the virtual space. He looked around the space. It's been a long time since I was last here. It should be about time for her to show up. What was her name again? Ari, I think. A voice rang out. Congratulations on completing the new user tutorial. A woman with golden hair appeared. She smiled as she spoke. I am Ariadne. I'm here to guide you in choosing your class. Jae-hyun quickly recognized her. Yeah, it's her. Her hand slowly extended. Now then, adventurer. You must choose your basic class. There are 3 available options. The skills you develop in your basic class will determine your advanced class later on. Warrior. A frontline fighter who uses melee weapons in fierce battles. If you enjoy action-packed combat, this is the class for you. After listening, Jae-hyun thought, a warrior, huh? I played this class last time, so I could probably level up fast, but playing solo would be tough later on. He decided, skip. Ariadne continued her announcement. Priest, a support class specializing in healing and strengthening allies with the power of... Jae-hyun seemed uninterested. Skip. No way am I going to waste my time supporting someone else, she announced softly. Then there is only one option left. May your journey be an interesting one. As she spoke, a stream of golden light slowly flowed into Jae-hyun's hand. He waited in silence to see what would happen. Notifications popped up one after another. You have selected a basic class. Teleporting to your class tower. Golko's voice rang out. Welcome, O young one who thirsts for knowledge. I am Golko, your guide on the path of magic. He was the mage class NPC Golko. Golko continued to speak. Well, tell me, what kind of magic do you wish to learn? Feel free to ask. Jae-hyun suddenly spoke up. Black magic. Hearing this, the old man froze. Jae-hyun kept staring intently at Golko. The old man finally reacted. You mean ancient magic, right? Forgive me, my hearing isn't what it used to be. Jae-hyun quickly cut him off. No, I said black magic. The old man's attitude changed completely. Where did you hear about such a thing? Black magic is powerful, yes, but it will devour the user's soul. Jae-hyun seemed unfazed. I know. I came here fully aware of that, so teach me. He thought to himself, it has to be black magic. Because what I want is... Golko's body began to tremble. It's impossible. But perhaps... In that case, we can begin right away. This made him ecstatic. This is exactly it. The old man gripped the staff in his hand. It has been a long time since I've seen a young person choose this path. If you are truly prepared, then place your hand upon that skill book. But be warned. This path is too perilous for the faint of heart. Jae-hyun smirked and replied, Let's get started. Sorry to be blunt, but my heart is far from weak. This only served to heighten Golko's interest. Streams of dark energy swirled around Jae-hyun's body. The old man spoke again. Finally, someone interesting has appeared. Jae-hyun quickly recalled a legendary video from his past life. A necromancer player. He single-handedly defeated a raid boss, a truly terrifying sight to behold. No matter how difficult, Jae-hyun was determined not to give up. Right now, this is the power I need. A system notification arrived. You have successfully become a necromancer. Current title, Clumsy Necromancer. You have acquired the skill, Bone Splitting. He broke into a wide grin, Bone Splitting. He slowly held out his hand. Jae-hyun quickly dropped the skull onto the ground below. Another notification appeared. A bone soldier infused with mana begins to take form. Jaehyun waited with a smile. This time, I'm going to go all out as a necromancer. He turned his head. All right, time to level up. The training dungeon should be... Before Jaehyun could finish his sentence, the skeleton's skull immediately fell off. The sight made them both fall silent. He spoke up. Wait, what the hell? The spatial gate was still open. Jaehyun stepped through with a familiar stride. He let out a weary sigh as a system notification appeared. You have entered the training dungeon for novices. Jaehyun suddenly remembered. The bone soldiers I saw in my past life. They weren't this fragile. I don't get it. View skill. Analysis information arrived. Skill, bone splitting. Proficiency, F. Summonable units, 1. Ability, creates a bone fragment. By infusing it with mana, you can summon one bone soldier. His expression grew suspicious. Could it be because my proficiency is still so low? I need to level up, fast. Sensing something was off, Jaehyun glanced behind him. Suddenly, he grew interested. Right on cue, the system analysis appeared. Training monster, Cinderwolf. He immediately broke into a wide grin. Cinderwolves. They aren't strong, but they're fast. They're perfect for testing out my combat abilities. Jaehyun made his decision instantly. Bone soldier! He was already in a fighting stance. He threw the glowing skull straight at the Cinderwolves. Kill them! Flames erupted from the spot. Finally, the bone soldier appeared. Your bone soldier has detected the enemy and is entering an attack stance. It glared fiercely at the enemy. The sight made the Cinderwolves immediately recoil. Jaehyun ordered again, Kill them! The bone soldier's eyes glowed with rage. Without a moment's hesitation, it charged toward the Cinderwolf. The situation made Jaehyun laugh. Wait, it looks more capable than I thought. At this rate, I'll hit max level in no time. But just a few seconds later, his bone soldier was completely crushed. It all happened so fast that Jaehyun froze in place. The skull even rolled to a stop at his feet. The helplessly beaten bone soldier shed a tear. Jaehyun still couldn't figure out what he had done wrong. He hurriedly checked the system info. Wait a minute, something's not right here. What the hell is going on? View skill. More information appeared. Skill. Bone splitting. Proficiency. F. Summonable units. 1. Ability. Creates a bone fragment. By infusing it with mana, you can summon one bone soldier. Additional info. The summon utilizes a command learning system to improve its combat ability. Default behavior modes can be set. 1. Defensive mode. 2. Offensive mode. 3. Special action mode. Jaehyun sighed, blaming himself. It looks like I forgot to set its mode. For goodness sake, set mode 1, defensive. Hearing his words, the bone soldier's eyes immediately lit up, but its body was still being gnawed on by the charcoal wolves. Sweat dripped down Jaehyun's face. No, I don't believe it. Could it be? He continued to call out, Set to mode 3, special action. A notification appeared. Your skeleton soldier is enthusiastically dancing. The sight left Jaehyun frozen. A tear of despair rolled down his cheek. I'm so screwed. The skeleton soldier behind him whispered, I tried to warn you, kid. A moment later, Jaehyun sighed in despair. This is a nightmare. A notification arrived. Character deletion is unavailable. Newly created accounts cannot delete characters for 3 months. He clutched his head in anguish. I can't delete my account. I can't change my class. And my loan payments start next month. Maybe I should just get hit by a truck again. Jaehyun felt exhausted. Why does nothing ever go my way? It's always right when I feel like I've finally accomplished something. And this useless piece of crap, too. He turned his head and scolded it. Please, just stand still, will you? You're stressing me out even more. How the hell did that necromancer from my past life manage these things? Realizing something was off, his eyes widened. A block of text appeared before him. Summons utilize a command system to improve combat ability. Default behavior modes can be set. 1. Defensive mode. 2. Offensive mode. 3. Special action mode. Jaehyun was extremely skeptical. Improve combat ability? Just now, when I was taking down those charcoal wolves, this skeleton soldier was watching and learning. It seems the skeleton soldier isn't as useless as Jaehyun thought. A familiar smile appeared on his face. He quickly called out to get the skeleton's attention. Hey! You're lucky to have me as your master. I might not look like it, but they used to call me a genius, you know. I even trained my entire guild and turned them all into top rankers. In battle, you only need to remember one thing. If you dodge, you die. Then with a crisp crack, bone fragments flew into the air. Before the skeleton soldier could understand what was happening, Jae-hyun prompted, "Again." He repeatedly struck its body, again. Though bewildered, it still couldn't comprehend his actions. Again, Jae-hyun put all his strength into a powerful punch against its body. The skeleton soldier was sent flying back in pain. He continued to instruct it, "Don't just stand there like an idiot when you're hit. First, dodge. Then counterattack when you see an opening. Got it?" It hurriedly got up and wiped the dirt from its face. Its eyes showed a clear sense of determination. This time, the charcoal wolves charged at the skeleton soldier again. It seemed to have learned how to dodge as it ducked down. Then it used the club in its hand to strike the wolf's body hard. Its eyes were filled with fury as it took them down one by one. As a result, the charcoal wolves were soon lying on the ground. Jae-hyun stood there and watched. Seeing the skeleton soldier look his way, Jae-hyun reminded it, "Where are you looking? I told you, don't get distracted in a fight." Still, your final move wasn't half bad. Notifications flooded in. Bone fragment proficiency has increased. Bone fragment proficiency has increased. Bone fragment proficiency has increased. Both Jae-hyun and his summon had leveled up. He praised it happily. Good job. Player has leveled up. The scene changes to the beginner's village, Figus City. The bustling noise of the crowd rang out. The friendly guild is recruiting new members. Join us. Anyone want to join our forest spider raid? Jae-hyun thought to himself, the skeleton learns fast. With just a few more days of training, it'll be able to conquer dungeons on its own. This is where things get more urgent. First, I have to get to level 10 and then... Just then, a voice called out, catching his attention. "Hey! When you bump into someone, you're supposed to apologize, huh?" The henchman behind him nodded. "That's right, boss." Jae-hyun was confused. What are these B-rate villains? I don't have time for this. Maybe I should just kill them and move on. Without hesitation, the man swung his fist. "You dare sigh while I'm talking to you." Just then, something seemed to block the attack. Seeing Matador appear, everyone froze. He smiled and reminded him, "You shouldn't go around punching people like that, buddy." The big guy immediately shot back, "Who the hell are you? Are you with this guy or something?" He shook his head. Not exactly. It seemed Jae-hyun had realized something. Wait a minute, this guy is... Jae-hyun continued to stare at Matador's muscles. That physique. Those strange clothes, there's no doubt about it. He is... Matador Chevalier, the legendary highest-ranked warrior from my past life. "What's he doing here?" Jae-hyun called out. "Wait a minute." The big guy's voice interrupted. "Kya!" He bent down and spat on the ground. His expression was extremely fierce. "Oh man, if you don't know what's going on, then get lost. That little brat hit me first, you got it? Haven't you ever heard the saying, an eye for an eye?" Matador laughed in surprise. Is that so? It seemed like he wasn't going to hide his own strength anymore. Seeing that explosive power made the big guy freeze on the spot. Even Jae-hyun found it hard to believe. He smiled and said, "Well then, since you just punched the palm of my hand, I should punch you back, right?" Realizing something was wrong, his underling quickly warned him, "Boss, that guy is Matador Chev, the leader of Red Bull, one of the top 30 guilds, the ruthless berserker, the assassin Matador Chev." He still couldn't believe it. "What? Why would someone like him?" Matador continued, "So, what's your answer?" This scene made the big guy freeze instantly. He hurriedly ran away. I'm so sorry." He seemed refreshed. "Glad we could resolve things peacefully." "Peacefully? Hey, are you okay? Don't worry about thugs like them," and Jae-hyun immediately slapped Matador's hand away. He coldly turned and walked away. "Next time you don't need to help me." Everything happened so fast that even he was startled. "What the?" So cold. A forced smile appeared on Matador's face. On the long road, Jae-hyun tried to walk quickly. Damn it! For a moment there, I was completely overwhelmed by his power. The next time I see him, I swear I won't be the same person I am today. The scene changes to another place in the dungeon. Jae-hyun sat there dejectedly. The difference in strength between us is just too obvious. But Sil and Chev are on the same level, which means, if I want my revenge, I have to be as strong as them. While he was still lost in thought, a beast rushed forward to attack. But Jae-hyun remained seated. A few seconds later, a skeleton soldier rushed out to protect him, as if he had predicted it. Its strength is getting higher and higher. Notifications kept coming. Your skeleton soldier has defeated a charcoal tiger. Level up. It looked at him with sparkling eyes. Jae-hyun slowly stood up. 3 days to reach level 10, huh? Longer than I thought. Seeing its disappointment, he didn't understand what was going on. Various notifications appeared. Congratulations, you have reached level 10. Monsters will no longer appear in the training dungeon. Your newbie sign has been removed. Jae-hyun smiled brightly. Finally. Battle Eye, an essential gaming device with features like stats, quests, map, inventory, and messages. It's been a while since I've worn this, he said happily. Display status. A notification appeared. Higher Con, Level 10, Class Necromancer, Title 1. Stats, Strength 3, Stamina 3, Intelligence 5, Magic 5. Jae-hyun felt a little disappointed. A shame. My stats were reset. System request. Please distribute your stat points. The stats gradually increased. SP remaining, 50. Strength, 3. Stamina, 3. Intelligence, 5. Magic, 5. Jae-hyun continued to calculate. This was his first time distributing his stats, so he had to be careful. As a necromancer, the obvious choice was to increase intelligence or magic. He looked at the skills. Stamina, intelligence, magic. At the same time, he made his decision, but all his points would go into strength. A notification appeared. Strength plus 50. Jae-hyun felt a change. Total strength 50. A smug smile spread across his face, but the skeleton warrior right next to him was acting very strange. He turned his head to look at it. What's your problem? I'm not giving up on being a necromancer, you hear? How else am I supposed to teach you? Increasing intelligence or magic now won't change much, but by investing in strength, I can teach you all the techniques I mastered at my peak. I'm literally betting my life on you learning this. Anyway, just focus on training, leave the rest to me. Besides, there's another way to make up for those other stats. In the blink of an eye, the scene shifts to the Monster Hunters Association, Figus Castle branch. The man happily announced, "New quests have just arrived, everyone." The crowd rushed over. "Get out of the way! That one's mine! In your dreams, I've been waiting since yesterday!" Jae-hyun entered the place. The quests around this time of year are always boring. For these guys to be so hyped, they must be newbies. He quickly made a request. "I'd like to take a quest. Can I see the list?" Hearing this, the old man replied in surprise, "Be my guest, but all that's left are the quests no one wants. They're either too tough or the rewards are terrible. You've got some nerve, kid." Jae-hyun thought to himself, most of these really are boring. A smile appeared on his face. "I know better. It's my ace in the hole." He quickly picked up the card. Found it. Bima Mountain Cave. The information appeared. Objective, hunt monsters near Bima Mountain. Reward, 10 gold. Jae-hyun continued his assessment. This is a basic hunting quest for low-level monsters. The old man was curious. "Are you sure you want that quest? Just a heads up, the reward is only 10 gold. He nodded in confirmation. "Yes." A notification popped up. Quest updated. His face showed a hint of anticipation. On the surface, it looks like a trivial quest, but if I complete it before level 15, Rising Star, I can get an extremely rare title. What's so great about a title, you ask? Titles give you extra stats. He thought of the rewards the system offered. Clueless Mage, Scorned by Dire Wolves, Apprentice Alchemist. Magic +1, Magic +2, Intelligence +1. Jae-hyun grew excited. A Rising Star title? 3% intelligence, 3% magic. It increases stats by a percentage, baby. In other words, this is the first step to becoming a broken, overpowered character. He immediately turned in another direction. All right, time to get equipped. Jae-hyun already had something specific in mind. This vast space was Bima Mountain. Jae-hyun's expression was a bit unsightly. He was wearing the most clownish outfit imaginable. After putting this outfit on, no one would give him a second glance. Jae-hyun clutched his head in despair. After pouring all my money into equipping skeleton, damn it. A notification appeared. Durable leather armor purchased. Insufficient funds. He froze. I just grabbed whatever I could afford. Now I look like a total weirdo. Complaining is useless. I just have to rush this quest and buy some decent clothes. Jae-hyun ran forward at full speed. Fastest clear ever. Here I come. Elsewhere, deep in the forest, a hand covered in bright red liquid reached forward. The young man cried out desperately, "Help, somebody! Please help!" He was quickly dragged backward. It seems these villains were the ones behind everything. Multi gazed at the clear blue sky before him. At last, at Bima Mountain, the great adventure of the extraordinary Multi begins. Let's see what kind of monsters are here. Level 11 already? I'm pretty talented at this game. What if I become a ranker in record time? What should I do then? Suddenly a cry for help rang out. "Help! Please, my friend is hurt. Somebody help!" He was a little surprised. What? Multi hurried over. What's going on? The long-haired guy explained. A monster suddenly appeared and attacked us. We barely managed to escape, but we just ran out of potions. He quickly rummaged through his inventory bag. I have a healing potion here, hold on. The long-haired guy nodded. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're really in your debt. Deeply in his debt. Molty probably didn't realize that the butcher behind him had silently attacked him. A bloody scene unfolded. While he was still in agony, the long-haired guy smiled. Thanks again. We'll be sure to make good use of your stuff. In despair, Molty cursed, You people! You tricked me, you scumbags! The long-haired guy's face became smug. Come on, are you really going to blame us? You're the one who walked right into the trap. A notification appeared. Player Molty has died. Player Molty has died. His body slowly vanished, leaving only his items behind. The butcher was thrilled. Nothing's easier than taking down these idiots. The blonde turned back. Did you see his face just now? You scumbags! It seemed the long-haired guy was incredibly excited. All right, guys, let's go find the next sucker. These three were the infamous player-killing Ralph family. Elsewhere, the skeleton soldier was still fighting a monster. Just a few seconds later, the monsters quickly attacked. Jae-hyun immediately snapped his fingers and gave an order. Switch to attack mode. Without hesitation, it rushed forward. This time, it directly attacked the monsters with a few basic punches. A notification appeared. Your skeleton soldier has defeated a dire wolf. Experience 375. Your skeleton soldier has defeated a dire wolf. Jae-hyun thought to himself, I bought him a sword, and now he can handle a whole pack of dire wolves by himself. I knew I made the right call prioritizing the skeleton soldier's gear. A true gamer prioritizes stats over appearance. The skeleton soldier moved, turned to look at him. My poor master. Jae-hyun was speechless. Why are you looking at me like that? Whatever. If you're done, let's go. We need to level up fast so I can get out of this pathetic outfit. Seeing him hurry off, it immediately ran after him. Suddenly, an arrow flew in from another direction. While the skeleton soldier wasn't looking, the arrow struck it hard in the head. Seeing this, Jae-hyun was startled and confused. An arrow? At the same time, the long-haired guy quickly approached. I'm sorry. I saw you from a distance and thought you were a monster. I'm so sorry. Jae-hyun seemed to realize something wasn't right. No. He noticed the items they were wearing were stained with blood, and they were even mismatched pieces of gear. Jae-hyun's eyes turned cold. This bunch? He quickly smiled and said, It's all right, but if you have a mana potion, I'd really appreciate it. This made the long-haired guy feign regret. Oh no, we don't have any potions either. How about we help you level up? Your mana will automatically restore after you level up. Jae-hyun acted surprised. Really? That sounds reasonable. The guy quickly explained, It's our fault after all, so we'd be happy to help. Perfect timing. The monsters are here. We'll weaken it, and you can land the final blow. He nodded without hesitation. Okay. Meanwhile, the long-haired guy whispered, Everyone knows the plan, right? The blonde smiled. Of course. First, we'll go all out to lure the monster. Then I'll launch an attack. And finally, we'll accidentally let it slip past us over to that sucker. They were still scheming. The poor idiot will panic, and that's when we... Their faces broke into delighted smiles. But what happened next left this group completely stunned. Jae-hyun stood to the side, reminding his skeleton soldier, That was close. Be a little faster next time. Good, keep going. They were astonished. How is his summon so strong? His level must be higher than we thought. In that case, we'll push a horde of monsters towards him! The female monster charged again, startling Jae-hyun. That butcher will rush right over here, and while he's distracted, we'll take down the summoner. He attacked Jae-hyun, a smug look on his face. Seeing him dodge, the butcher was shocked. What? He dodged, and his expression became incredibly calm. This time, he spun around and struck back directly. Seeing their comrade fall, the other two were completely shocked. What? Jae-hyun snapped his fingers again to give a command. Skeleton soldier. It seemed to have understood his words. Together, they charged straight at the two men, swords drawn. Seeing this, the long-haired man quickly yelled, Wait, let's talk. It was too late. A blade slashed across his body. The blonde man beside him didn't escape the same pitiful fate. Both of them were taken care of in an instant. Jae-hyun and his skeleton soldier looked incredibly badass. After they collapsed, he sighed. I know trash like you all too well. The kind who earns people's trust only to stab them in the back and steal everything they have. The me from the past would have definitely fallen for it. The long-haired man hurriedly begged, Wait, here, take my items. I'm sorry, please don't. Jae-hyun seemed completely unfazed. Too bad. I don't trust people anymore. He finished off these vicious men himself. A notification arrived. Player Ralph has died. 8 unclaimed battle marks have been dropped. His expression soured. 8. This guy was a real piece of work. I should put these to good use. First, I need to find some decent clothes. When he turned back, the skeleton soldier was still relentlessly attacking the butcher's corpse. Its blood-covered face even startled him. Hey, skeleton soldier, is there anything you need? Jaehyun walked over to heal the skeleton soldier. The wound on its head healed in an instant. He smiled gently and said, There we go. You like it that much, huh? Jaehyun was curious. He sighed and commented, Appearance doesn't matter when you fight for me. What's important is your loyalty. Just stick with me and one day you'll achieve great glory. Now then, let's see what I got. Jaehyun silently recalled, By selling another person's battle marks, a random item from their inventory drops. That way I can choose the item I want. He equipped the rare black goblin pants. Mana ±5. Intelligence ±5. A rare sword with the scent of an ancient tree. Mana ±10. Next up, a skill book, Demonic Curse. And even more money. Jaehyun cheered. Now that's a real jackpot. I was only able to pull this off thanks to that money-making method. Faster than I anticipated. I'll record my gameplay from now on and build a good reputation for an important purpose. I'm telling you, building a good reputation is what's important. Realizing something wasn't right, Jaehyun froze. He recalled a past conversation. Everyone in the guild would wear a ha-ho mask. That would make us famous. His teammates at the time decided, all right then, let's name our guild the Ha-Ho Mask. This saddened Jaehyun. I even thought about getting a new identity. However, the mask in his hand slowly began to change. Jaehyun continued to observe the item. I don't want others to steal my items anymore. I'll use this to prove that I was right. He put on the mask. Let's go, skeleton soldier. The scene shifts to another vast mountain range. Jaehyun casually walks in with his skeleton soldier. A notification appears. You have entered the Bima Mountain dungeon cave. He lifts his head and scans the area. I think werewolves are supposed to appear in this dungeon cave. This isn't an easy dungeon, but now that I have a good item, it should be easier. I'm aiming for a 10-minute run. Without wasting any time, Jaehyun runs forward. Let's go! Several hours pass. Jaehyun's face is filled with despair. Why? Why aren't there any monsters? This is insane. There should have been a notification if someone already cleared this dungeon. Is it a bug? What the hell are you doing? Noticing something is wrong, he freezes. Wait! He quickly approaches the spatial rift. Just a few seconds later, the spatial rift widens. A new notification appears. You have discovered an instant dungeon, the stage. Do you wish to enter? Jaehyun slowly backs away. No wonder there were no monsters. An instant dungeon is a dungeon that randomly appears inside other dungeons. When one appears, the normal dungeon becomes inactive until it has been cleared. They are more difficult than normal dungeons, but they also give better rewards. The problem is, you either clear the dungeon or you die in it. Jaehyun sighs and stands up. Honestly, I think we should give up. I won't be able to play for 2 days if I die here. It'd be better for me to quit and do another quest. His gaze suddenly shifts behind him, but he has made his decision. You have entered the stage. Jaehyun smiles. I just have to clear it. A blinding light appears, making him flinch. The two of them arrive in a massive plaza. He quickly scans his surroundings. Is this an arena? This is a little scary. I wonder what's going to show up. Suddenly, the entire space begins to shake violently. A giant beast appears before them, and the sight makes them both freeze. The roaring monster is a level, fallen werewolf. Jaehyun's expression changes. Fallen? Why is one in a place like this? He barely finishes his sentence when it attacks, sending him flying backward. It all happened so suddenly, making Jaehyun cry out in pain. The skeleton soldier quickly turns to assess the situation. It immediately draws its sword and gets into a combat stance. A strange smile appears on Jaehyun's face. He suddenly bursts out laughing, confusing it. How did I get so lucky today? Fallen monsters are part of the main quest. Hey, skeleton soldier, if we don't kill it, there's no dinner tonight. With that, Jaehyun charges directly at the werewolf. The skeleton soldier also has its sword ready for battle. He quickly steps onto the sword in front of him. Next, Jaehyun leaps high into the air while the werewolf is still in disbelief. As it frantically tried to lunge and strike back, Jaehyun spoke, weaving a curse. Strange wisps of dark energy swirled around his hand. He imbued his sword with the curse, the demon's curse. Only then did the wolf realize something was wrong. The surrounding space began to shift. Without hesitation, Jaehyun slammed his sword into the ground. It could only howl in pain and desperation. A notification appeared. Demon's curse skill activated. Target's stats will be reduced by 10%. Jaehyun was still feeling excited. The demon's curse isn't half bad. For my first time using it. Just then it slowly turned its head. Its face was a mask of pure fury. A notification arrived. Fallen werewolf has become enraged. All negative status effects are nullified. Jaehyun chuckled. I guess it wouldn't be an instant dungeon if it were this easy. I was planning to save this for later, but I guess I'll have to try it now. Activate. The watch on his wrist came to life. An aura of dark energy spread across the area. Finally, the streams of dark energy coiled into a single point. A blinding light erupted from its center. Armor quickly materialized on Jaehyun's body. Now he was clad in imposing armor. All right, let's do this. Power-up, one of the unique traits of the God of War. When a player uses the power-up feature, they are temporarily granted strength from the world of the God of War. It manifests as a form of enhancement, and this form is incredibly diverse. It varies from one player to another. But in general, it's an increase in power, which is why many people call it the Supreme Combat Mode. Jaehyun smiled defiantly. Bring it on. This sent the werewolf into a blind rage. Without a moment's hesitation, it lunged forward to attack. Its attacks were incredibly powerful. And so the werewolf attacked Jaehyun from every angle, but he continuously dodged without striking back. Then he gradually retreated, maintaining a safe distance. But the werewolf refused to let up. Jaehyun continued to analyze. Just as I expected from a boss-level monster, its speed, its power, they're both insane. What if it lands on all fours? No, even on just 3 legs. I'd be finished. At that moment, the werewolf charged in to attack again without any hesitation. A smug smile spread across his face, but Jaehyun leaped into the air and began to fight back. Just a few basic strikes were enough to injure it. He landed lightly on his feet. A bright smile lit up his face. This is what makes it more fun, right? Jaehyun suddenly shot up into the air. It was because the werewolf behind him had furiously smashed the ground. Even he had to admire its explosive power. That's right. This is the stage where I can fully immerse myself in the fight. It's not often I get to feel a battle like this. He didn't realize that he was hovering right above the werewolf's mouth. Jaehyun smiled and asked, Hey, you didn't forget anything, did you? Before it could react, he appeared in front of it once again. Taking the opportunity, the skeleton soldier on the side charged in to fight. Jaehyun didn't forget to add, Skeleton soldier, act just like we practiced. It nodded obediently, understanding. The scene before it made the werewolf freeze instantly. It stood there, unable to react as the two of them rushed past. Its body was gradually slashed into pieces as they both looked on. In just a short time, the wolf was completely dealt with. You have hunted a werewolf, a significant experience boost. Jaehyun chuckled. Not bad. Just then, a card was sent by the system. Bima's Mountain Cave. Subdue the monsters around Bima Mountain. Reward, 10 gold. Notifications arrived. The skeleton soldier has also defeated an incredibly strong monster. The skeleton soldier's fragmented skills have been raised to E rank. You have earned 20,865 gold. You have obtained a werewolf skull. You have obtained the werewolf's hideout. Jaehyun was delighted. This temporary loot is amazing. Next was the reward. You have received the Necklace of the Fallen Pursuer. Necklace of the Fallen Pursuer. Unique Chronicle. Increases stats relative to level. All stats plus 18. Untradeable. Bound item. Equipment requirement. Fallen Pursuer title. This made Jaehyun stare in disbelief. A unique chronicle item. Even though it's untradeable, it's a higher tier than a normal unique item. Sweat dripped down his face. Wait a minute. Fallen Pursuer. No way. A new notification appeared. 3 new titles have been updated. Promising Newbie. Intelligence plus 3%. Magic plus 3%. Jaehyun was startled. Promising Newbie? That's the one I was planning to get. Hero Challenger. Stamina plus 3. He was confused. So there are heroic titles here too? Well, I did clear the temporary dungeon by myself, so I guess this makes sense. Another new title, Fallen Pursuer. Jaehyun's eyes widened in bewilderment. Fallen Pursuer? That's the first title of the first chapter of the main quest, the Fallen Count. He thought to himself, the main quest. That's the main storyline that forms the foundation of this game. Because the rewards are so phenomenal, every player wants to participate in this quest somehow. In my past life, I couldn't even get to Chapter 4. Jaehyun wondered to himself, and now, I've already unlocked this. This isn't just luck anymore. Luck. I've hit the jackpot, he exclaimed joyfully. Log out! The scene changed back to a familiar one-story house. A news report was on TV, a live broadcast. A voice rang out, "The Hydra Guild has officially begun the final chapter of the Fallen Count scenario. Our goal is to complete it within 3 months." Jaehyun used the mouse to close the video. His expression was extremely calm as he sat in front of the computer screen. But inside, he felt utterly hopeless. Jackpot? What the hell? How could I be so unlucky? He screamed frantically. Someone's already reached the final chapter of the Fallen Count? If I jump in now, I won't get anything. Damn it, what a complete waste. Should I just drop this quest and aim for the next one? Wait, maybe this is an opportunity for me. Jaehyun shot up from his seat and stared at the screen. His face was anxious. Right now, the whole world is focused on the Fallen Count with extreme interest. It's the game's first main quest, and it's about to be completed. What would happen if a video related to the Fallen Count was released right now? The view count would be insane. Jaehyun imagined himself becoming rich. He decided instantly. It's a good thing I recorded my gameplay. I have to edit it and upload it to YouTube as fast as possible. The video editing is the most important part. It has to be good. I can't leave it to just anyone. Jaehyun smiled. Then I guess I'll need that person. The person who was called a video editing genius in my previous life. The scene shifts to a messy room. Snack crumbs were scattered all over the desk. Jaehyun was still hopeful. Filmmaker Romani. The girl stared at the notification on her phone in surprise. She was bewildered, not understanding. A request to edit a dungeon clear video? Here can... Level 15? What kind of dungeon clear video can a level 15 player even make? It's probably just some rich newbie who wants to show off on social media. The next scene made her freeze. This time, Romani couldn't stay still any longer. Her voice trembled. I found him, my muse. And she is Romani, a freelance video editor. Nickname, Sassy Mouth. The scene shifts to late evening in the city. Seolyan called out softly, "Assistant?" The assistant hurried over. You called for me, ma'am? She spoke coldly. A video related to the fallen werewolf has been uploaded. It's quite interesting. A level 15 player taking on a fallen werewolf all by himself. The assistant quickly realized, it's that video. My team already looked into it, but the fallen werewolf's level was low, so we didn't think it was worth our attention. She cut him off immediately. I like it. I want that person. Bring that person to me. This woman was none other than Chae Seolyan, the #1 figure in the world of dungeon business. Her nickname in Warlord was the Thunder Queen, Sira. Jaehyun stared blankly at his phone screen. Huh? I just uploaded the video yesterday. How did it get so many views? It's already at 6,000 views. In my past life, it took me months to get this many views. Just then, a message came in from Romani. Have you checked the view count? Jaehyun was surprised. Romani contacted me first? He quickly replied, knowing that the guy never contacted anyone first, preferring to keep himself a secret. He then sent a message. Yeah, just checked. Romani seemed thrilled. Crazy, right? That's my power for you. Of course, it helped that you provided such great footage. Red roses for you. Jaehyun thought to himself, I really want to block this guy. Is he some kind of gaming addict? Suddenly, Romani messaged again. By the way, when are you sending me the next video? Jaehyun sighed. I've been wondering the same thing. I don't know what to do next. It's not like I can just find another monster like the fallen werewolf. It would make more sense to start making videos again after I hit level 50. But what could he do? He quickly started up his gaming console. The system began connecting to the real world. He thought to himself, I have to seize this opportunity and move forward. Jaehyun made his decision. Connect. Watching the video, Mathador was amazed. Ha-ho Mask Hirkin! His movements are incredible. I never get tired of watching. This was Mathador Shev. His expression was puzzled. He looks so familiar. Where have I seen him before? A woman's voice cut in. Who looks familiar? Yell. This beautiful woman, a member of Red Bull, approached him. Mathador smiled and explained, I was talking about Ha-ho Mask Hirkin. He's been getting pretty popular lately. She seemed a little disappointed. Him again? Of course he'd look familiar when you watch him so much. He nodded. You're right. His expression turned a bit strange, but this game feels just like moving in real life, so newcomers are usually hesitant. But he's not like that at all. And the way he commands his summons, it's on a completely different level from other necromancers. He wondered what it would be like to fight him, though he probably wouldn't accept a duel. Yell quickly cut him off. That's enough. Stop rambling and get back inside. You're live in 5 minutes. He was startled. Huh? Already? You know I'll always love you. Hearing this, she sighed and reminded him, if that's really true, then do a good job on today's live stream. Over 200,000 people have bought tickets to watch you live. To watch you. Matador slowly walked forward. He slowly made his way outside. The leader of Red Bull, and the 9th-ranked player in Warlord Matador Shev, an announcement rang out. The dungeon gate is about to appear. His entire body was clad in armor. 5, 4, 3, 2. The crowd waited in anticipation. A smile appeared on Matador's face. Everyone, only 1 second left, he declared loudly. Prepare for battle. The scene shifts to the Figus Castle branch of the Hunter Association. Jaehyun's face was one of complete despair. There's nothing. There are no quests at all. He thought to himself, I kind of figured, but why are there no good quests? Weed control, hunt 3 wolves, lost dog. This damn beginner town. I guess I'll have to put off making a video. Just then, Hotan quickly approached. I knew it. You're the adventurer who conquered the Bima Mountain Cave dungeon. Jaehyun recognized him instantly. It's the man from before. The old man smiled and said, I'm Hotan. Do you have a moment? A short while later, Hotan began to speak slowly. I've heard about you seeing a mutated monster in the Bima Mountain Cave. Jaehyun was confused. What is this? An event? He quickly replied, I encountered a werewolf with strange eyes. The old man turned to look at him, stunned. Just as I thought. The monster you encountered was likely tainted by the power of a fallen one. Jaehyun didn't understand. A fallen one? Hotan sighed and explained, we haven't been able to identify him yet. But his power has made the monsters more vicious, and it's clearly causing a lot of damage. That's why the association has put a bounty on his head. Jaehyun's eyes sparkled. I'll do my best to catch that pile of gold. That evil bastard. The old man was bewildered. Huh? What? It seemed he had realized this was a hidden quest. Hotan was about to say something. You're still too weak to face a fallen one. Jaehyun didn't care. It's fine. The old man shook his head. No, I'm saying you're not ready. He immediately replied, thanks. Seeing this, Hotan sighed and made a decision. All right, I'll give you a chance, based on your efforts. Head east of Figus Castle. At Bant's Castle, there's a man named Ahimbri. This familiar name made Jaehyun freeze. The space around them changed. Perhaps he can teach you. I'll write you a letter of recommendation. A quest appeared. Ahimbri's tutelage. Find Ahimbri and show him Hotan's letter of recommendation. Reward, skill book. Everything was happening so fast that Jaehyun felt dazed. He shouted with joy in this space. Awesome! Jaehyun's face grew more excited. For real? I really got a quest to become Ahimbri's disciple? One of the 7 disciples of the great mage Boken, the NPC Ahimbri. Every mage wants to meet him, because he provides the rarest skill books. In other words, he's a very important NPC. I probably got this chance because the Rising Star title and the Fallen Earl main quest intertwined. If this goes well, I won't have to worry about video content anymore. Realizing something wasn't quite right, Jaehyun stopped. Wait a minute. He let out a surprised smile. I forgot. There's one more thing I need to take care of first. The scene changes to another location at the edge of a forest. Jaehyun stood still in a clearing. He gently called out, Bone Divide. A skull, his bone soldier, was tossed by him onto the ground. It materialized before him. I haven't even checked the loot from the last battle. First, I'll use the werewolf skull I kept instead of selling. A notification appeared. Consume werewolf skull to enhance your bone soldier? Jaehyun nodded. Yes. A change occurred. Bone soldier has inherited the werewolf's attributes. Toughness, +2. Jaehyun took out another item. And the necklace of the fallen pursuer. Equip. The stats all changed. Necklace of the fallen pursuer effect applied. All stats +18 to class-related stats increased. This pleased Jaehyun. All right, preparations are complete. A bright smile spread across his face. Bone Divide. He quickly threw out 2 more skulls. A familiar blue light appeared in this place. The skulls seemed to be filled with new life. Finally, there were 2 more warriors, which left the bone soldier bewildered. It was still looking at itself in disbelief. Jaehyun turned and reminded them, from now on, we'll operate as a 3-man team in battle. Get to know each other. The realization that he wasn't the only one made him feel utterly hopeless. He continued walking forward. I wonder what kind of monsters are in this area. Suddenly, a level 25 forest bear charged forward to attack. It went on a wild rampage, destroying everything in its path. Even as the forest bear attacked relentlessly, Jaehyun only dodged. Having no other choice, it swung its fist, startling Jaehyun. The realization that he couldn't possibly dodge this threw him into a panic. Quickly, a smug smile spread across his face. "Lured you in. Now." The figure of a skeleton warrior instantly appeared in midair. Seeing this, the forest bear turned to attack it. It was incredibly ferocious. The skeleton warrior was quickly shattered into pieces. This sight left Jaehyun speechless. Did you really think such a predictable attack would work? You have to aim for its blind spot. Next up, another skeleton warrior charged forward. It leaped into the air to fight the forest bear head-on. It was all useless against the forest bear. It was so strong it just tossed the skeleton warrior aside. It seemed Jaehyun couldn't take it anymore. "Hey, I told you to aim for the blind spot. Why did you do the exact same thing as the last one? Seriously, this is so frustrating." The familiar figure of a skeleton soldier appeared. Jaehyun's eyes immediately lit up. That one. Without a moment's hesitation, it leaped into the air to confront the forest bear. He felt a flicker of hope in his heart. Could it be? Reality was cruel. The forest bear coldly swatted the skeleton soldier, sending it flying. Jaehyun despaired, covering his face. "What the hell? You idiots!" He couldn't take it anymore. A moment later, the skeleton soldiers looked at him in terror. Jaehyun stood to the side, scolding them non-stop. "Do you guys even have brains?" "Ah, well, I guess not. But okay, just put your heads back on. See? When a monster gets attacked, it obviously turns toward the direction of the attack. That's why you need to aim for their blind spots. What do you think happens when you charge in from where they can't see you?" Forget it. Damn it, this is just making me even more pissed off. It's good that my skill has increased, and now I can summon 3 skeleton soldiers, thanks to the effect of the necklace of the fallen pursuer. But the problem is, they can't work together. Back then, Jaehyun had been furious. "I told you to aim for the blind spot. Why did you do the exact same thing as the one before you?" He recalled that they all shared the knowledge he'd taught to one of them before. Jaehyun had been teaching them constantly. Attack. Cooperate and attack together. It seemed they didn't understand. But because they'd never learned how to fight as a team, they didn't know how. The thought made Jaehyun despair. They cost 3 times the mana, but they're even worse than before. Whatever. I hit level 20 like I wanted. Guess I won't be able to make a combat video for a while. Get up. We're going to train all the way to Bant's castle. And here I thought I'd be able to leave the fighting to these guys while I kicked back and relaxed, like a proper necromancer should. Looks like I have no choice but to take the lead myself. Jaehyun grumbled as he led the skeleton soldiers away. Oh, good grief. The scene quickly changes to the Bant's Castle branch of the Hunter Association. Inside, hunters were chattering away noisily. Footsteps rang out as a man stepped outside. Seeing him, the people around suddenly yelled, "He's out! Get him! What quest did you get? Tell me!" The scene left Jaehyun speechless. They're like a pack of hyenas. I guess you can find them anywhere. These guys don't want to put in any effort. They just want to leech off of others. A man's voice called out, "Hey, if you have any good quests, then..." Jaehyun coldly walked past him. "Get lost." He thought to himself, I can't let them know I'm on a quest for a Himbri. The bald guy was still confused. "What?" Jaehyun held out a letter. "I have a letter of recommendation from Hotan." Hearing this, the NPC nodded and announced, "Confirmed. Please proceed to the 2nd floor." Seeing this, the others quickly begged, "I'm in his party. Let me go up." Jaehyun thought to himself, "No, you're not. I wonder what kind of reward a Himbri will give me. Since it's a hidden quest, it's got to be something good, right? I'll build a long-term relationship with him." He pushed open the door and stepped inside. "Excuse me." The scene inside caught Jaehyun's attention. He realized the place was a complete battlefield. What a mess. Suddenly, a Himbri's voice rang out, "Who are you?" "I don't recall having any appointments today." That was the NPC, a Himbri. Jaehyun felt disappointed. What the heck? This is a Himbri? He stepped forward and introduced himself. "I am Hirkan. I've come on Hotan's recommendation." The man looked a little surprised. "You still look like a novice dark magician. Your skills must be better than your level, huh?" Jaehyun explained, "I was just lucky." He thought to himself, as long as I get my reward, that's all that matters. Hearing this, a Himbri held out his hand. "I see. This is the promised reward." Notifications appeared. You have received the skill book, Bone Armor. You have received the skill book, Berserker Helm. Jaehyun's face lit up. "He gave me 2 books, and they look super rare too," he said happily. "Thank you very..." The man turned away. "Then our business is concluded." A notification appeared. A Himbri's tutoring quest has been completed. A Himbri didn't forget to add, "Be careful on your way out." Jae-hyun was in utter disbelief. What? How can the quest be over so quickly? You're supposed to give me the next one. He rushed after him. Wait, he thought. I didn't go through all that just for a couple of skill books. He called out, Sir, I'll do anything, so please just give me... Suddenly, a Himbri's hand shot out and grabbed Jae-hyun's. His demeanor changed completely. You'll do anything? Thank you so much. His face broke into a radiant smile. A notification appeared. Eggs in the nest. Bring back the eggs from the nest. Reward, none. Reward, none? It seemed Jae-hyun had just realized something. His heart sank. He tricked me. Outside, the sight of an approaching warrior in a long robe made everyone quickly clear a path. They discussed in amazement, that gear. It must be incredibly expensive, right? He headed straight for the place Jae-hyun had just come from. His expression slowly turned menacing. That's the place. Where the Heiho mask is? The door slowly opened, and then slammed shut. Jae-hyun stood frozen in place. He was filled with regret. So it's possible to get scammed by an NPC. I thought he was going to give me a main storyline quest. What the hell is this egg quest? The quest notification appeared again. Eggs in the nest. Bring back the eggs from the nest. Reward, none. Jae-hyun continued to rant. And there isn't even a reward. Damn it, do I really have to do this? Just then a voice spoke up. What are you doing? A quest? Jae-hyun looked up at the man in front of him. The crowd swarmed him like vultures. This guy's got a quest, get him! Jae-hyun was at a loss for words. Damn it, I forgot about these guys. What do I do now? Should I just kill them all? But if I do that... Suddenly a cold voice rang out. Move! Ano stepped forward, shoving the entire crowd aside. He coolly walked up to Jae-hyun. Are you free? I'd like to talk. Somewhere quiet. The situation left him utterly speechless. Who the hell is this guy? Jae-hyun was annoyed. Fuck off! Why me? Ano repeated. Please cooperate. The Heiho mask guy. He'd really figured out Jae-hyun's identity. The scene changes to an alley where the two stand facing each other. Ano slowly spoke up. Sorry to bother you. I felt like we couldn't have a proper conversation. When there are people around, Jae-hyun observed him. Judging by his gear, he's a ranker at least. But I don't remember ever seeing him. Who is he, and how does he know who I am? He then questioned, You're Heiho mask, aren't you? He clenched his fist. In cases like this, I have to play dumb. Then Jae-hyun replied, Who's Heiho mask? Ano was startled. My apologies. Jae-hyun continued his rant. I followed you because you said you wanted to talk. But who the hell is this Heiho mask? This situation left Ano completely bewildered. I followed you because you said you wanted to talk, but who the hell is this Heiho mask? From the NPC named a Himbri. Jae-hyun cut him off. Listen here. Who the hell are you, and why should I share any information with you? You're already pissing me off just by dragging me out here. You want to fight, right? Then get on your main account and try to kill me. He thought to himself, I have no idea who this guy is, but all I have to do is keep playing dumb. What will you do next? Suddenly, Ano reached his hand out to Jae-hyun. He bowed his head earnestly. It seems I was mistaken. Please forgive me. This caught Jae-hyun completely by surprise, but then he smugly took his hand. Scared, huh? I'll let it slide this time. What a weirdo picking a fight for no reason. Watching Jae-hyun walk away, Ano was extremely irritated. Just then, another person appeared. I don't think that was him, was it? He sighed. One thing is for sure, he's not a skilled player. If you've played Warlord for a while, you'd know better than to reach your hand out to a war eye. This exasperated his teammate. Do we really have to keep watching a Himbri? The Fallen Count quest is almost over. Even if someone finds out now, what can they possibly do? The Egg in the Nest quest is the main objective. Ano reminded him, we can't afford to take any risks. Hearing this, the man disappeared. Well, I'm returning to my post. He turned to leave. See you later. Neither of the two noticed the figure on the building high above. It seemed Jae-hyun had observed the entire exchange. There are two of them. They're definitely from some organization, seeing as they're working together. But if they were from a regular guild, they would have tried to make a deal with me after revealing their identities. Testing me like that, they're certainly no ordinary players. Who the hell are these guys anyway? The scene changes to a familiar forest. Jae-hyun sits there, watching two skeleton soldiers fight. But one thing is certain. There are multiple factors at play in the egg quest I received. They've probably seen my videos. They knew Heiho Mask would get a quest from a Himbri. The fact that they let me go so easily means they don't care who Heiho Mask actually is. Jae-hyun sighed to himself. I don't even get what this quest is about. But if things keep up like this, I'll definitely run into them again. If I want to avoid them, I'll have to stop uploading videos for now. Why do these psychos keep messing up my life? Che Solyun? That woman alone is already more than I can handle. The moment Solyun woke up, Suji cheered, "You did great!" This was Park Suji, Che Solyun's secretary. She then ran over to her. "How was the guild admission test?" Solyun coldly snatched the glass of water. "They're all useless trash. Why isn't a single one of them useful?" Suji was surprised. "Is that so?" she thought to herself. "How scary." At the same time, she continued to probe. "Any updates on that Haho mask I mentioned last time?" Hearing this, Suji paid attention. "The person who uploaded the video. It seems they've joined another guild since they haven't responded." Hearing this made Seolyeon completely furious. "Another guild?" Suji quickly bowed her head. "No, ma'am. I'll look into it again." Seolyeon turned away coldly. "Don't come back until you're sure." After that, she continued to change her clothes. "What did the chairman say?" She bowed her head helplessly. "He hasn't said anything yet." A smug look appeared on Seolyeon's face. "He's not saying anything because the warlord is doing a good job." She leisurely took a step forward. Her expression brightened. "He tried to set up an arranged marriage when I first told him I was going to play this game." The sight left Suji frozen. That figure. Seolyeon gave a cold command. "Make a new list of candidates and report back to me by tomorrow morning." Her demeanor changed completely. Tomorrow morning? That's so soon. But she had already left, leaving her to sigh helplessly. What a terrible personality. Meanwhile, Jaehyun arrived at a large lake. "It's been a while since I've been here." The Lizard Marsh. He and his skeleton soldier appeared in this place. He silently calculated in his head, a Himbri is currently at Bangstu Castle, so the quest must be somewhere around here. Since the quest is to find an egg, it has to be from a bird, reptile, or insect-type monster. And after narrowing down the places I can go at my level, this Lizard Marsh is the only one. Jaehyun turned his head and called out, "Skeleton, come here!" Skill window. The monsters here are a higher level, so maybe I should use that enhancement skill I learned last time. A notification appeared. Berserker's Helm. Mastery F. How to use: draw a sigil on the target's head and chant an incantation to activate. Note: sigil must be drawn. He continued his command. And chant the incantation. Now, wear the helm. Even his own eyes widened in admiration. Damn, that's cool. The skeleton soldier seemed to undergo a strange transformation. Its body gradually changed. Seeing how badass it looked made Jaehyun laugh. "He has horns now? Okay, I've got to test this. Attack me." The system information appeared. Draw a sigil on the target's head and chant an incantation to activate. Note: there's a chance the summon will lose its sanity. Jaehyun reminded it, "Put on the helmet." The skeleton soldier's eyes suddenly lit up. Its body gradually began to change. The sight made him chuckle. How disgusting. Is it growing horns now too? The information continued to appear. Carve a sigil on the target's head and chant an incantation to activate. Special note: high chance of summoning a berserk creature. Jaehyun quickly made his decision. "All right, we need to test this out. Go ahead and attack me." The skeleton soldier screamed as if it had completely lost its mind. The sight before him was startling. This thing. Furious, he threw a punch that sent its head flying. Jaehyun's single blow silenced the two skeleton soldiers off to the side. He continued to scold it. "Did you just scream at me? How dare you? Is this some kind of bug? I don't think anything's changed. Don't tell me I got scammed on this skill too." While he was distracted, a group of level 30 lizardmen suddenly attacked. Jaehyun realized something was wrong. He smiled in surprise and said, "Perfect timing. Some test subjects have arrived. Equip helmet." A notification appeared. Berserker's Helm increases the stats of summoned creatures. Current increase rate, 1.2 times. Jaehyun turned his head. "Oh, and by the way, bone armor." The notification continued to change. Bone armor equips armor onto a summoned creature. Armor currently available for summon breastplate. The skeleton soldier seemed to feel something and screamed in pain. While the lizardmen were still bewildered, Jaehyun called out again, "Skeleton soldiers, go!" He snapped his fingers, and at his command, all 3 skeleton soldiers charged into battle. Their bodies were filled with fighting spirit. They relentlessly attacked the lizardmen at all costs. One skeleton soldier even took the opportunity to appear behind a lizard man. With just a few basic strikes, the female monster was gradually defeated. The skeleton soldier had completed its mission perfectly. Notifications arrived. The skeleton soldiers have eliminated 3 lizardmen. Experience points gained, plus 864. Level up, level up. Jae-hyun was extremely satisfied. He burst into excited laughter. This is amazing! All right then. For the next week, we'll hunt monsters and search for eggs. And if this isn't a quest area, we'll just go somewhere else. Let's go. Jae-hyun prepared to leave the area. He didn't know that a woman had been silently watching him from behind. It was this girl's turn to reveal herself. My name is Ilya. As you can see, I am a peerless beauty. I don't like to say it myself, but it's the truth, so I have to. No matter what I do, everyone likes me. That's why my life is so easy. If I just act a little worried, my slaves will rush to help me. While she was still gloating, she accidentally slipped. And so, the beautiful Ilya fell flat on her face. She quickly tried to brush off the embarrassing moment, so desperate she was on the verge of tears. This damn place! I hate it so much! One of my slaves brought me here to level up. That guy just kept saying, follow me. Oh, God. But then something bad happened. He died instantly, so now I'm stuck here. The monsters here are too high level, and it's even hard to walk. Is there anyone I can trick into? Just as she was thinking this, Ilya suddenly spotted Jae-hyun. She broke into a radiant smile. I've found a new slave. A scream rang out, catching Jae-hyun's attention. Ilya's delicate figure appeared in the area. Please, help me! My leg was injured by these monsters. Inwardly, she thought smugly, how about that? Seeing a beautiful lady in so much pain? You can't help but feel sorry for me, right? There was no way he could resist the urge to help her. When suddenly, Jae-hyun turned and walked away. The situation left her completely frozen. Are you really just going to leave? How could he ignore a stunning beauty like me when I'm injured? Ilya quickly called out, Excuse me, Mr. Necromancer or whatever. Hello? It seemed Jae-hyun couldn't care less. Another lunatic. Ilya was still very persistent. What? How dare you? Ignore me? She was like a completely different person. Meanwhile, Jae-hyun was still commanding his skeleton soldiers to fight the monsters. After standing and observing for so long, he felt a little tired. He sighed and complained, She's so annoying. Ilya kept chasing after him. It hurt so much. Jae-hyun recalled angrily, I ignored her because I didn't want to waste time, but she just kept following me. She kept putting on a show right in front of him. Can someone please help me? This drove him to despair. If you're going to play a game, then play it properly, you bastards. You think this is a joke? He recalled the faces that appeared in his mind. This time, Jae-hyun decided, I think it'll be faster to just deal with this directly. He turned his head and asked, Do you need help with something? Ilya recounted sadly. I dropped my sword in one of the swamps while hunting. Can you help me get it back? Jae-hyun pressed on. And once you get it back, you'll get out of my sight, right? She beamed and quickly bowed her head. Of course. Thank you so much. I won't forget your help. But her expression changed completely afterward. Got him. Looking at the sword before her, Ilya was overjoyed. There it is! Thank you so much. If it weren't for you, I would have... Jae-hyun cut her off. It's fine. Just don't forget your promise to get out of my sight after I retrieve it for you. Skeleton soldier, go get it! And so the annoyed skeleton soldier went to do as he was told. Ilya was still chattering on. Thank you so much, she thought to herself. A necromancer. Without those summons, you're nothing. You dare ignore me? Die! The tip of her sword moved swiftly closer to Jae-hyun. At the crucial moment, he suddenly turned his head and declared, Too slow. Seeing him fight back, she instantly froze. What? With just a single blow, Jae-hyun sent Ilya flying backward. Just like that, she landed hard in the swamp. This made her furiously lift her head and scream, You bastard! Do you really think you can get away with this? My bodyguards could crush you in an instant! Jae-hyun seemed unconcerned. Behind you. Ilya turned her head in surprise. What? Behind me? What's behind me? In front of her was a lizard man, still eager to take a life. This made her scream in despair. Jae-hyun reminded her, If you're going to try and trick me, at least do a proper job of it. I saw right through you from the very beginning, you idiot. He thought to himself, I've had enough of these scams. Then Jae-hyun turned and ordered, What a waste of my time, skeleton soldiers, let's go. But at that moment, the skeleton soldiers were still practicing their seductive poses. Jae-hyun immediately smacked each one of them and warned, Stop learning such weird things. I'm going to kill you. A notification popped up. Player Ilya has died. He became ecstatic. What's this? I get points for that? I didn't even expect it since I didn't kill her. How lucky. Suddenly, he recalled her threat. Do you really think you can get away with this? My bodyguards could crush you in an instant. Her words made Jae-hyun burst out laughing. Bodyguards, my ass. I bet someone like you doesn't have any bodyguards. But he didn't know that loyal bodyguards were already staring intently at his every move. The scene shifts to another part of the swamp. The weak warriors were still panting continuously. They cursed in desperation. "That damn bastard! Lady Ilya's enemy! We must avenge her!" Jaehyun suddenly called out, "Let me ask you something. Why are you going so far for her? You don't get anything out of it. Do you think she'll date you just because you avenged her? Why are you so obsessed with a girl you've only met in a game?" The man laughed like a madman, leaving Jaehyun stunned. It was as if he'd lost his mind. "Because I love her." But just a few seconds later, Jaehyun ended his life. He was utterly speechless. How ridiculous. Jaehyun remembered Ilya's expression. "That psycho. She just kept trying to trick me." Back then, she begged relentlessly, "Please help me." And Jaehyun had made his decision. "And so, I took care of her." A single punch sent Ilya flying backward. But it wasn't over. "And," she furiously cursed, "do you think you can get away with doing something like this to me? My bodyguards can destroy you at any moment." Thinking about it left him speechless. I never thought what she said back then was actually true. She was constantly crying, "Everyone, I'm so sad. All I did was ask for help, and that damn necromancer attacked me out of nowhere." That made her loyal fans absolutely furious. And so the trouble began. Thanks to that, a mob of people immediately started hunting for Jaehyun. "There you are, Lady Ilya's enemy." He was surprised. "I've started running into these lunatics every day." A strange smile appeared on his face. "I was getting restless because I couldn't find any quests, and now a whole bunch of nobodies like this come looking for me. Should I find that woman and kill her? No, I'd be in big trouble if I did that." A notification arrived. Received, unclaimed ring. You have received 5,011 gold. You have received goblin fur boots. You have received a promised necklace rare. Realizing something was off, Jaehyun was startled. Wait a minute. Isn't the promised necklace an extremely rare item that can be sold for thousands of won? Oh well, love is truly a wonderful thing. The words of that guy came to mind. Will you all join me in worshipping a goddess? Jaehyun danced with joy. Thanks, you bastards. Finally, I can eat a good meal today. Another guy quickly appeared. There he is. I've found Lady Ilya's enemy. He immediately announced. That's right. I'm the piece of trash who killed Ilya. Welcome, everyone. As soon as Jaehyun finished speaking, a crowd had gathered at the location. The sheer number of them forced Jaehyun to turn and run. Why are there so many people? They shouted curses relentlessly. Get him! Kill him! He was shocked and bewildered. Just how many of them are there? Are there really this many people mesmerized by that woman? Seriously? Jaehyun and his minions could do nothing but run as fast as they could. Seeing no other way out, he turned back. Damn it! Skeleton soldiers! Then he ordered his minions, and the skeleton soldiers immediately turned back to fight. Seeing this, the skinny guy remarked, Summoning skeleton soldiers just like we heard. Well then, I'll leave them to you. The fat guy's expression turned dangerous. Skill. Power of love. With just a few basic punches, he completely destroyed the skeleton soldiers. Jaehyun was shocked. A skill like that exists? A notification popped up. Your skeleton soldier has been destroyed. He didn't know what to do. Damn it, they seem to be a higher level than me, and there are so many of them here too. I don't think I can beat them head on. You're all dead meat once I level up. The fanatics immediately yelled, He's running away! After him! Sometime later, Jaehyun had escaped to a different area. Those bastards are persistent as leeches. He thought to himself, it's hard to shake them off because I'm still a lower level than them. For now, I have to keep moving. Realizing something was wrong, Jaehyun was startled. He turned his head and looked around. Where am I? This place looks different from before. I don't remember a place like this in the Lizard Man Swamp. I've been looking around this area all day, but I've never seen a black swamp like this. Jaehyun's expression became very strange. A surprised smile spread across his face. This has to be it. Elsewhere, the group of fanatics was still searching. Damn it! That necromancer bastard, where did he go? The fat guy quickly shouted, Over there! I see one of his skeleton soldiers! What appeared before their eyes was a skeleton soldier dancing non-stop. It's dance time! The sight made all of them freeze on the spot. The fat guy was still furious. That necromancer bastard! As if harming Lady Ilya wasn't enough, now he wants to humiliate us like this too? The skinny guy seemed to realize something. Is that really it? Without a moment's hesitation, he gripped his sword and charged forward. I will not forgive you! Suddenly, a giant monster burst out from the swamp, stunning everyone. The fat guy was still stunned in disbelief. What the hell is that? The giant monster quickly attacked, and he had no choice but to leap into the air. His teammates behind him saw this and were terrified. That's a lizard! Clearly, they were no match for this monster. It was the elite lizard level 40, the boss monster of the lizard swamp. The group hastily warned each other, "Damn it, don't let it stop!" Jae-hyun thought to himself, I never thought the nest of the lizard would be here. The lizard is a boss-level monster with overwhelming strength, health, and attack power. It would take a party of about 20 level 40 players to defeat it. From what I've heard, the dragon lizard hunting party completed their mission a while ago. Normally, this boss monster wouldn't be here. However, if someone with a similar quest, Eggs from the Nest, enters the game, the monster will respawn. In other words, since the lizard is here, this must be where Ahimbris's quest begins. Jae-hyun's expression grew grim. Wait a minute. So Ahimbris sent me here to defeat that thing and bring back the eggs when I'm only level 20? He thought of Ahimbris with extreme irritation. That swindler. How could he do something so ridiculous? Anyway, luckily I was able to gather some good teammates, so things should be fine. The fanatics quickly warned each other, "This lizard is too much for us. Let's retreat," and Jae-hyun immediately appeared. "You can't do that." He summoned skeleton soldiers surrounding them. This sight terrified the skinny guy. "They've blocked us in." Another guy immediately tried to reassure him. "It's okay, we just have to push through." No sooner had he said that, he was taken out by the giant lizard. They were completely desperate. "Damn it, the lizard is right behind us!" Noticing Jae-hyun, the skinny guy yelled, "That necromancer is running away." He ran off gleefully. "Thanks, my dear teammates." They shouted, "Get him!" Jae-hyun thought to himself, "I won't forget your sacrifice." Now it's time to quickly snatch the eggs from the nest. Jae-hyun nimbly leaped from one side to the other. He said cheerfully, "I'm in, thanks for the eggs." Realizing something was wrong, his expression changed. "What? The eggs aren't here?" Jae-hyun hurriedly searched the area. "This can't be. They have to be around here somewhere." Finally, he picked up a very strange object. His face grew pensive. He continued to observe, bewildered. "I found the most suspicious thing possible, but doesn't this look more like a rock than an egg?" Well, there's nothing else here that looks like an egg either. A system notification appeared. The skeleton soldiers have been destroyed. Jae-hyun turned his head in surprise. The lizard must have come back because it sensed an intruder in its nest. I have to get out of here now. A few seconds later, the giant lizard appeared in the nest. It seemed to have detected his intrusion. Jae-hyun was startled and bewildered. That was too close. Now that the lizard is back, I can't search around the nest anymore. If that's the case, I have no other choice but to take this back with me, even though it's not an egg. A notification appeared. Eggs from the nest. Bring the egg back from the nest. Reward, none. The scene was horrific. Dead bodies lay scattered across the swamp. While the skinny guy was still in agony, Jae-hyun approached. He gently sat down and called out, "Hey, this is quite an interesting game. There's so much fun to be had since we're so free to do anything." Seeing his actions, the guy became furious. "You bastard, that's—" Jae-hyun declared coldly, "Let me make this perfectly clear to all of you. Up until now, I was just playing around with you. But I have a lot on the line in this game. Next time I won't hold back, I'm warning you. And that woman." Just those few words were enough to leave the skinny guy utterly terrified. Jae-hyun continued to take his revenge on the survivors in this place. The more he thought about it, the angrier he became. If they follow me again, even after that warning, it's going to be an all-out war. His expression grew thoughtful. "All right, it's time. Time to make some money." Jae-hyun quickly made a call. "Ah, yes. Is this the Bangsu Guild? I've just discovered a dragon lizard in the lizard swamp. I'll send the exact address for 100,000 gam. What? You think this is a joke? I'm dead serious." Sometime later, Jae-hyun placed the egg on the table. He announced calmly, "I've brought the item you requested. Please let this be the one," he thought to himself. "I don't want to have to scour the entire map for this egg again." Ahimbri continued to examine the egg in front of him. He slowly began to speak. "This is—" Just as Jae-hyun was getting anxious, the man declared, "Exactly." Sweat trickled down his face. Ahimbri continued with praise. "The very item I was looking for. Well done." Jae-hyun was overjoyed. "I found it." "You were quicker than I anticipated," Ahimbri praised. "I thought it would take much longer for someone of your level." Jae-hyun was furious. "You knew that and you still gave me the quest? What kind of NPC is this guy?" He managed to stay calm. "I did my best. Anyway, could you please give me the next quest?" Just then, Ahimbri asked a question. "Do you have any idea what this is?" "Whenever we search in areas with mutated monsters, we always find one of these. That's why we've tentatively named it a corrupted fossil." Realizing something was off, Jaehyun was startled. He remembered Ano's goal. This must be it. The reason those guys were following me, the corrupted fossil. It's a key item related to the main storyline. They wanted to make sure no one else got their hands on this item. That could affect the main storyline of the quest later on. I thought I'd been tricked when I got this quest. A lizard's egg. Just an egg from a nest. I never imagined it would be part of the main storyline. While Jaehyun was still lost in thought, a Himbri spoke up. My apologies. I knew this quest would be very difficult for you, but we are facing an incredibly powerful, nameless entity. I needed to test your willpower. So what do you say? Are you ready to fight against the Fallen? He clenched his fist. Willpower, huh? I'm about to become part of the main storyline. This is a rare opportunity. He then announced, I will dedicate my body and soul. A Himbri suddenly cut him off. Not right now. Jaehyun's attitude shifted instantly. What? A Himbri continued speaking. You must have seen how powerful those monsters are. I don't think I can give such a task to a mere rookie. Damn it, he thought. Is my level too low to continue the quest? He was about to speak, but a Himbri cut in again. However, if you were to say, oh, great mage Himbri, please accept me as your disciple, then I might just consider helping you train. With no other choice, Jaehyun headed outside. System notifications appeared. You have completed the quest. Egg in the nest. You have obtained the title, A Himbri's Disciple. Quest, A Himbri's Guidance 2 will now begin. He thought in despair, this guy. Jaehyun began to speak. Please accept me as your... A Himbri immediately shouted, What was that? I can't hear you! Jaehyun felt a surge of humiliation. He's a complete con artist. Meanwhile, the giant lizard had been completely taken care of. The group cheered victoriously. We're clear! Good work, everyone. It's finally over. Anyone who needs healing, get over here. The muscular guy said with excitement, Captain, our guild finally did something major. The captain smiled and nodded. You're right. Tell everyone to reassemble after they've had a short rest. Thank you so much. You're even stronger than we expected. Thanks to you, we were able to clear the quest. Ano replied coolly, It was nothing. Your support was excellent. The captain continued, Not at all. If it had just been us, at least 5 people would have died. Thanks to you, we didn't have a single casualty. I was skeptical when I heard about helpers you could pay to assist with dungeon boss raids, but I'm really glad I hired you. Here, it's not much, but I just want you to take it. Ano was extremely annoyed. This isn't what you guys promised. He announced with a smile. Of course, this is separate from that payment. Ano cut him off. No, I don't like breaking the rules. I'll stick to what you guys promised. Seeing him so upset surprised the captain. Yes, I'm sorry. The captain thought to himself, what? I thought he became a helper for the money, and it seems strange for a high ranker to help with a low-level raid like this. Who is this guy? Ano continued past the area. Then I'll be taking all the items from the nest as we promised. The captain didn't forget to add, but don't take anything valuable from the nest. Ano thought to himself, what a relief. I never thought I'd get the chance to obtain the corruption stone. When I heard that the dragon lizard had been revived, I was worried that Heiho Mask had already completed the quest to conquer it. But since the dragon lizard is still alive, he must have failed. Defeating a boss isn't something you can do with just button mashing. It takes a lot of calculation. A radiant smile spread across his face. Now I just need to get the corruption stone and stop Heiho Mask from completing his quest. But Ano realized the place was completely empty. He was trembling with anger. Unable to take it anymore, he screamed furiously, Son of a bitch! Elsewhere, Jaehyun was focused on his phone screen. His expression was completely calm. Finally, it's time. All those days of scrimping and saving. I kept telling myself that if I just held on a little longer, things would get better. However, he clenched his fist with a determined look. It's over. I'm going to do it. I'm going to order beef. I tried to save as much as possible on food just in case, but now that I've got the main quest, this much should be fine, right? I also got a lot of other stuff from this, so I think this is a suitable reward for myself. Jaehyun looked at his phone screen happily. Time to convert it to real money. I love this. Now time to order that beef. The constantly decreasing numbers made Jaehyun freeze. This time, a notification appeared. Balance 856 won. He grabbed his head in despair, crying, What beef? I can't even buy food now. Buy? Why? I worked myself to exhaustion, so why am I still so poor? Suddenly, a message from Romani arrived. Hey, you still alive? Did you quit WTube completely? Jaehyun picked up his phone in surprise. Romani. I forgot to update them on my situation. I couldn't make more videos because some weirdos were hunting me. Realizing something wasn't right made him freeze. Jae-hyun's expression completely changed. Wait a minute. Do I need to care about those guys when I'm about to starve to death? What did I even do? I'm just a gamer enjoying the game. Screw it, I don't care anymore. I'm going to do what I want. The scene changes to a vast graveyard. Black crows circled continuously in the sky. The figures of Jae-hyun and his skeleton soldier appeared in this place. A system notifications arrived. You have entered the region, Forest of the Dead Spirits. Jae-hyun sighed and glanced around. No matter how many times I come here, this place is still so creepy. He thought to himself, this is probably the best place for me to grind for experience. And with this creepy atmosphere, it's also perfect for grabbing attention in my videos. Next, Jae-hyun turned and announced, all right, we're going hunting now, but first, we have a new teammate. From now on, magic will be a part of our strategy, so get along with him, okay? Skeleton Mage, a skill that scammer Ahimbri gave me. The more proficient I become, the higher level magic I can cast. It's a great skill, but it consumes a lot of mana. I don't have enough. Jae-hyun spoke up. Anyway, what we're hunting today, and is that? Just then, a skeleton emerged from the ground. Following that, various other skeletons slowly appeared in the area. All of them were level 33 skeleton soldiers. Jae-hyun's skeleton soldier was completely bewildered, but he himself was perfectly calm. Here they come. What are you all doing? Go hunt. Those words made all three of them freeze instantly. The ghastly skeleton soldier let out strange noises. Jae-hyun continued to comment, you'll probably realize it once you start fighting, but these undead monsters have a trait that's different from normal monsters. What are you all doing? Seriously, stop wasting time. We have a lot of work to do. Hurry up! Go fight! Having no other choice, Jae-hyun's skeleton soldiers could only charge into battle. But his skeleton soldier was so powerful that it beat the other one mercilessly. It clearly looked completely battered. Just a few seconds later, the skeleton soldier in the graveyard was acting as if nothing had happened. While Jae-hyun's skeleton soldier was still terrified, he slowly spoke up. That's right. Normal attacks won't work. That's why... He continued, waving his hand to grab the rare mage's mace, strength plus 35. Without any hesitation, Jae-hyun attacked the graveyard skeleton soldier directly. A single blow turned it to dust. He even looked happily at the skull he had sent flying. A critical hit. Nice shot. See, you need to smash it hard in the head and... What are you all doing? Anyway, today's goal is to destroy 100 skeleton soldiers within 100 minutes. I'm making a speedrun video. And if we don't succeed, I'll leave you all here. Hearing these terrifying words, his skeleton soldiers had no choice but to charge into battle. Notifications streamed in continuously. Destroyed a skeleton soldier. Destroyed a skeleton soldier. Level up. Jae-hyun was extremely relaxed. Excellent. He thought to himself, I thought it would take them longer to get used to weapons they've never used before, but they're adapting faster than expected. Jae-hyun continued talking. This video will definitely be a huge success. I should contact Roman beforehand. Just then, he realized something was wrong. The foot of a skeleton warrior stomped heavily on the ground below. It looked much larger than the other skeleton soldiers. A notification appeared. Level 35 skeleton soldier. Jae-hyun's expression gradually turned to shock. That's a skeleton soldier, a rare monster that appears randomly. And also, he quickly looked at the level 35 skeleton soldier, then thought of a cow, and then a delicious piece of beef. Without hesitation, Jae-hyun charged forward. Get it, my beef! What should I eat first? Should I make a steak or just grill it? Beef bulgogi sounds good too. Perhaps he had underestimated the power of this level 35 skeleton soldier. When it swung its axe, the ground here completely shattered. Jae-hyun had no choice but to gradually back away to a safe distance. His expression was a little worried. That was scary. I almost died before I could even do anything. Thank goodness I aimed for its arm first. So what I need to do now is... Just as it was about to attack, Jae-hyun and his subordinates charged forward again. He smiled and ordered, break its attack! In just a short time, the level 35 skeleton soldier slowly collapsed to the ground. He let out a sigh of relief. Are you all okay? That was easier than I thought. Suddenly, the level 35 skeleton soldier sat up, intending to attack from behind. Seeing this, he turned back with an annoyed expression. A radiant smile appeared on his face. Why the hurry? I still have one more. Only then did it realize that the skeleton mage had appeared behind it. It seemed to be doing its job very well. A flame erupted in midair, making the place even more terrifying. Finally, it poured all its strength, channeling the flame into the body of the level 35 skeleton soldier. Notifications popped up repeatedly. You have defeated the skeleton soldier. You have received experience points. You have received experience points. Jae-hyun let out a sigh of relief. He quickly estimated, this video is guaranteed to get at least 10,000 views. I'm getting even hungrier now. I think I'll just grill my beef. A system notification appeared. The area boss has detected the death of its subordinate. Jae-hyun realized something was wrong. What? At the same time, a golden light appeared. The area boss has detected an intruder. Warning, the area boss is awakening. Everyone was still confused about what was happening. Finally, the boss had appeared. Clearly, this monster was the real final boss here. Before the four of them stood a giant skeleton soldier. The sight made them question their own existence. Jae-hyun's eyes widened in disbelief. What? What? He couldn't believe the monster before him was the level 40 golden skeleton soldier. The boss monster of the Forest of Death, and the first ever mage-type boss monster. It's a stronger boss, famous by the name Newbie Killer, Jae-hyun said to himself. Now that I think about it, the condition for it to appear is killing a lot of skeleton soldiers. I didn't even think about that. I'm not sure if I can beat it, but if I do, it'll be like hitting the jackpot. I've got a plan. If I give my skeletons a full buff, maybe... He turned his head and announced, Skeletons, But his skeletons had vanished at some point. A system notification appeared. Summoning has been cancelled due to insufficient mana. Realizing his companions had abandoned him, he clutched his head in utter despair. Jae-hyun tried to comfort himself. I guess it's only natural. I summoned all four and even had the mage cast a ton of spells. How could I have any mana left? There's no other way. He turned to face the level 40 skeleton soldier. Jae-hyun was ready to fight. He got into a ready stance. It's been a while since I've had a good warm-up. An excited smile spread across his face. Engage! In a flash, Jae-hyun had equipped himself with the necessary items. The skeleton soldier was still waiting, watching to see what he would do. Jae-hyun quickly made his decision. Let's do this. With that, he charged toward the level 40 skeleton soldier without hesitation. It didn't just stand there either, creating a magic circle behind itself. It was clearly a formidable opponent, but even so, Jae-hyun didn't give up. Under its pressure, the ground beneath them completely shattered. He tried to run as fast as he could. The more he thought, the more astounded he was. One hit and I'm definitely dead, and it fires a whole barrage. No wonder they call it the Newbie Killer. If I let it keep casting spells like this, I don't stand a chance. If that's the case, Jae-hyun suddenly leaped into the air. He gripped his weapon tightly. Then I just have to stop it from using them. Seizing the opportunity, he struck a powerful blow, cracking its arm bone. Perhaps the skeleton soldier didn't expect this to happen. Jae-hyun took the chance to dash behind it. Its magic circle was also completely destroyed. While it was still reeling in pain, Jae-hyun landed back on the ground. Its hands are linked to the spell, huh? Then all I need to do is break all of its hands. The skeleton soldier turned its head to look at him. A notification appeared. The boss monster is looking at you. The boss monster has successfully seen through you. The boss monster is calculating your skill level. Its hands moved continuously in the air. Then they clasped together as if controlling something. The space here began to change. Jae-hyun sensed that things were not looking good. He looked up. What is this? What's going on? A blinding purple stream of light appeared in this place. It seems the skeleton soldier is finally getting serious. Jae-hyun had to constantly dodge its artillery fire. He shouted in desperation as he ran, "What the hell is this?" This place was completely devastated, but he didn't have time to think about that. Damn it, it's catching up to me. Jae-hyun's eyes widened as he realized how bad the situation was. All he could do now was dodge. He even tumbled a few times across the ground. Perhaps the long battle had drained a lot of his energy. The more he thought, the more suspicious he became. What kind of crazy pattern is this that I don't remember? Jae-hyun sat up, asking himself, did I remember it wrong? Does the golden skeleton soldier have a seal pattern? Or was there a balance patch, like with the Minotaur? I don't know. I can't remember. It's been years since I last hunted a golden skeleton soldier. This is rough. No summoned skeletons, and I can't even remember all its patterns. How am I supposed to beat that thing? Jae-hyun stood up straight and faced the skeleton soldier. It was still attacking as Jae-hyun formulated a plan. For now, it looks like I'll just have to try everything. This time he charged straight forward, doing his best to dodge all of its attacks. Jae-hyun kept his eyes on the skeleton soldier. I can dodge as long as I know the trajectory. But the problem is, I don't have time to counterattack. I have to find its blind spot. Just then, Jae-hyun suddenly turned his head. From out of nowhere, the skeleton soldier's hand had grabbed him tight. As he struggled to break free, the skeleton soldier brought him closer. Then it let out a furious roar as if showing off its power. Jaehyun was completely at a loss for words. Son of a... Just how many patterns does this thing have? This game is way too luck-based. But you know what? I have a trump card, too. Cast Curse? Demon's Curse! A system notification suddenly appeared. Target's stats decreased by 13%. Seizing the opportunity while the skeleton soldier was distracted, Jaehyun immediately rushed forward. A delighted smile spread across his face. I don't know how I got an opening to attack, but it gave me one. He clenched his fist. Thanks. For that. Jaehyun slammed his hand into the skeleton soldier's body. A massive explosion erupted, completely shattering the ground. Fragments of the skeleton soldier's bones hung suspended in the air. Jaehyun smiled smugly and announced, "Boss defeated." At last, the giant monster had completely collapsed. A notification appeared. You have slain the golden skeleton soldier. Experience gained. Experience gained. 97,963 experience gained. Title acquired. Skeleton Destroyer. Leveled up. Jaehyun laughed with excitement. Man, that was a close one. Another 10 minutes and I would have been toast. The notification continued to change. Deactivating. He hurriedly called out, "Status window." The information appeared. Status, Harkin. Level, 36. Class, Necromancer. Titles, 9. Stats, Strength, 109. Stamina, 35. Intelligence, 101. Mana, 141. Jaehyun felt extremely pleased. Level 36, nice! He stood there, jumping up and down repeatedly. Suddenly, Jaehyun remembered something. Of course. At this rate, I'm in trouble. 141 mana. It's not a low number considering I invested the minimum points, but it's not enough. Up until now, I've managed to get by with fast leveling and my titles, but now that I have to use more skills, it's just not enough. I got stronger for the sake of my skeleton soldiers, but what's the point if they just die? He slumped down in despair, clutching his head. I've already gotten every mana title I can at this stage. I want better gear, but I don't have any money. But Jaehyun still remained optimistic. Screw it, who knows what could happen? I'll send the video to Romeni now, then grind to level 40. Tonight, I'm having beef noodles. The video of Jaehyun was quickly uploaded. The boss had been defeated. Romeni paused the newly arrived video with her mouse. She immediately let out an exhausted sigh. Then she slammed her fist into a teddy bear. The more she thought about it, the more astonished she became. This is insane. He defeated a higher-level boss without taking a single hit, and he did it on the spot with no practice. What a talent. This raw footage is gold. It barely needs any editing. I should send him the final cut. What should I title this? Ruler of the Skeleton Soldiers? One-man army? Romeni's fingers flew across the keyboard. A radiant smile spread across her face. Okay, this is it. The Lone Sovereign. The scene quickly shifted to the Conquerors Association, Bant's Castle branch. Jaehyun walked in. Like you said, I've gotten stronger and come back. Seeing this, Ahimbri turned around in surprise. You're finally back. What's with you? You look like a beggar. He thought in despair, whose fault do you think that is? Jaehyun pressed on. Give me my reward. Without a moment's hesitation, he snapped his fingers. All right, here's the promised reward. The reward appeared in Jaehyun's hand. Quest. Ahimbri's Teachings 2. Complete. You have received the skill book, Bone Study. His eyes widened instantly. Bone Study. It was an exclusive necromancer skill that couldn't be bought with money. The information displayed clearly on the screen. Bone Study. Proficiency, F. All Bone Soldiers' stats increase by 5%. Mana consumption for summoning and maintaining Bone Soldiers is reduced by 10%. You can summon one additional Bone Soldier. Jaehyun felt a surge of joy. Just what I needed. Something that reduces mana consumption. He said, delighted. Thank you. Ahimbri continued. And now for something else. The Ring of the Fallen Pursuer, made from the fallen stone that you brought back. It was crafted to seal the power of the Fallen by reversing it. The item's information appeared. Ring of the Fallen Pursuer. Chronicle exclusive. Quest-related stats +2. All stats +9. When worn with the Necklace of the Fallen Pursuer, an additional 21 stat points are added. Jaehyun stared in astonishment at the sight before him. That's the Ring of the Fallen Pursuer. It's an overpowered item only given to players who complete the main quest early. It's right here. Without hesitation, he quickly reached out to take it. Thank you. Suddenly, Ahimbri snatched the ring back and announced, On second thought, I don't think I can just give this away for free. Seeing him turn away left Jaehyun stunned. What? What do you mean? He turned back with great excitement and declared, "Catch me if you can." This situation left Jae-hyun speechless. "Master, seriously? If I catch you, you're dead meat." The two of them, master and student, quickly began their playful chase right there. Soon enough, Jae-hyun got the ring and put it on his hand. He sighed and grumbled repeatedly. "He's clearly insane. Is that really an archmage? If he weren't an NPC, I would have PK'd him on the spot. Anyway, I managed to get the ring safely, and even the next quest. Ahimbri didn't forget to give him instructions. There's something involving Agent Miggy and a sudden disturbance in Yonggrak. It seems you'll have to go to Suryu Castle." Jae-hyun clenched his fist. "I'll let it slide this time. Suryu Castle is a pretty high-level area. I'll have to grind levels as I go." A message from Romani caught his attention. "Hirkan, it's Romani. Urgent. I just uploaded the Golden Bone Soldier video to WTube and, well, just see for yourself." The video appeared with the title, Warlord, Solo King, Haho Mask. Comments popped up. "Holy crap. It's 20 minutes long, but it flew by in an instant. Insane. Too many epic moments. The beginning of a legend. Bro, you're crazy. Upload more. I gotta donate for this. Bro, that was so sick. You're so cool. Add me as a friend." Jae-hyun continued to look at the revenue analysis. His expression slowly changed. What the hell? He couldn't believe his eyes. Jae-hyun could barely even stand. A moment later, he continued counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 zeros. A smile slowly spread across his face. Tomahawk steak. He quickly recalled the delicious dishes. Prime rib, tenderloin, sirloin. The ingredients were all waiting for him to enjoy. Shoulder, flank, chuck, shank, brisket, premium short ribs, yukoi sushi, fish intestines, lobster, freshwater prawns, salmon. Jae-hyun was about to drool from craving it all so much. Anyway, it's enough money to eat all the delicious, expensive food I want. He thought happily, this is the freaking jackpot. I knew I did well, but this much? Was it posted on a bunch of communities or something? No time to waste. Time to log out and flex. Suddenly, a message popped up. "Hello, Haho Mask Hirkan. I've DM'd you many times." It was a recruitment offer from the Thunderbolt Guild. The message hit Jae-hyun's eyes. "Hello, Haho Mask Hirkan. I've DM'd you many times without a response, so I'm leaving a comment. To be direct, the Thunderbolt Guild wants to recruit you. When can we discuss the details?" He thought in surprise. An offer? From the Thunderbolt Guild? The Thunderbolt Guild. Chae Sol-yeon's guild. Remembering his enemy from his past life made Jae-hyun furious. He remembered. Before my regression, they had pestered me endlessly. Back then, Sol-yeon had asked him coldly, will you be my comrade? Her people pestered him non-stop. "Be our comrade!" "I already said no, you crazy bastards." And so, Jae-hyun had angrily declared, "You people never change, do you? Get lost! Even if you put a knife to my neck, there's no way I'm joining the Thunderbolt Guild. I will never join the Thunderbolt Guild." Come to think of it, I think I've said that before. Back in the present, Jae-hyun complained, "Man, what a pain. I already said no, so why is she so persistent? And she's trying to recruit someone who's already in a guild. What a pain." His teammate sighed sadly at that. "You're really lucky, you know. The Lightning Hunters Guild is in the top 30. Their queen, Sil, is a Chaebol's daughter, so she's loaded. I heard you could get a 6-figure salary." Jae-hyun was startled. "What?" Another teammate continued to praise him. With Jae-hyun's skills, of course they'd want him. He's an insanely good gamer. Even when we upload raid videos, all the comments are about Jae-hyun. To be honest, he's way out of our league. Just then, Jae-hyun suddenly cut in. "Stop it. Forget the 6-figure salary. I'm not joining the Lightning Hunters. Once our guild becomes the strongest, the money will follow. Who cares? I'd rather have fun playing with our guild." At that, his teammate gave him a strange smile. "You're right." The thought made Jae-hyun's heart ache. Looking back, from that moment on, "Is that why you all stabbed me in the back?" He snapped himself back to reality. Jae-hyun's expression gradually changed. "That's right. This is no time to be dreaming about spending money. There's too much to do. I can't be like this. All the money I earn, I'll invest it all into getting stronger." Soon, all the skeleton soldiers had appeared in the area. Looking towards them, Jae-hyun declared, "I'm the one who took down that golden skeleton, you bastards. From today on, we're going back to hardcore training. We need to perfect our movements. We can't let what happened last time happen again. You're all ready, right?" He remembered his past teammates constantly complaining. "Jae-hyun, come on, everyone's tired. Let's take a break. Do you really have to go this far? We're not you. But now, the skeleton soldiers he had were cheerfully agreeing. A smile appeared on Jae-hyun's face. This time, it's different. He turned and walked forward, then called out again, "Let's go!" To become the strongest. All right, from here, we're heading to our next destination, Suryu Castle. Of course, we'll be training on the way. The training is simple. We're just going to run straight there. And anyone who falls behind gets a beating. With that said, Jae-hyun chased after the skeleton soldiers without a moment's hesitation. He seemed incredibly excited. "You guys wait for me!" Elsewhere, Seolyan was still lost in thought. A mage approached and asked, "What are you thinking about?" "Lady Syl, that woman can handle a lot of different giant monsters all by herself." The mage didn't seem surprised. He continued his report. "It's time for the meeting. This person was Haechi, of the Lightning Hunters Guild." Seolyan jumped down to the ground. "What's the progress on the fallen count?" Haechi immediately reported, "Still no leads. We haven't found any clues for the next part of the quest." Her expression turned incredibly sour. Losing the main quest to something like Hydra? What an embarrassment. He continued to explain, "But I'm sure we'll find something soon. For now, you should go to the meeting of the top 30 guild masters." She quickly walked away. Just a bunch of fools sitting around arguing. What's the point? Haechi sighed and reminded her, "You're as cold as ever. In any case, take care of yourself." The guildmaster, Seolyan, paid his words no mind and continued walking forward. Jae-hyun stared silently at his phone screen. "Thanks to one viral video on WTube, I pocketed a fortune overnight. Total earnings." He couldn't believe his eyes. What is this? Right now, all Jae-hyun could think about were delicious meals. Simply put, this was enough money for me to enjoy every luxurious meal in the world for the rest of my life. I nearly squandered every penny I earned. But just then, my sworn enemy from the past reignited the flames of hatred within me. And so I decided to walk the path of a ravenous beast. And guess what I did first? Jae-hyun slammed the backpack down under the table. While the loan shark was still stunned, he spoke, "This is the entire debt, including interest. Go ahead and tear up my contract." Finally, Jae-hyun felt a sense of relief. Goodbye, high-interest loan. Next, I managed to buy a few rare skill books. He asked himself, and now what? Not a single penny left. Balance, 0. Now, Jae-hyun felt hopeless once more. Looking up at the bright blue sky for a moment made Jae-hyun laugh. He felt a pang of regret. I saw this coming, but seeing a 0 balance still really hurts. But there's no time to complain. Time to test out my new skills. His hand quickly placed itself on top of the book. In just a moment, a notification appeared. You have learned the skill, skin stitching. Information appeared. Skin stitching. Proficiency, F. A passive skill that enhances defense by attaching monster parts to the player's skin. If the attached material is damaged from accumulated trauma, it needs to be replaced. Jae-hyun was surprised. So, my skin gets reinforced? Time for a test. The system asked, "Do you wish to use the skeleton soldier's horn to strengthen yourself?" He nodded in confirmation. Yes. Jae-hyun's body began to change. The essence of the skeleton soldier seeped into his hirkin. Defense +5. He could feel the power flowing through his arm. The familiar weapon appeared before his eyes. Jae-hyun immediately tested his current strength. He felt nothing but excitement. I can't feel a thing. This is even better than I imagined. All right, let's keep going. The next notification appeared. You have learned a skill. The information displayed clearly. Curse of Stagnation. Proficiency, F. Curses the target, slowing their movements. The larger, faster, and stronger the enemy, the more mana it consumes, and the shorter its duration. Jae-hyun was incredibly surprised. It slows their movements? He turned his head to look at the skeleton soldier, which seemed confused. Then Jae-hyun immediately took control of it. Awesome! This skill will be useful in a fight. Now for the final skill. A notification appeared. You have learned the skill, Summon Golem. Jae-hyun knew it well. The toughest skill to get, and the one I coveted the most. The ground completely shattered, causing the skeleton soldier to freeze on the spot. Jae-hyun smiled and announced, "My first summoning." A golem, a giant stone warrior, appeared on the scene. Needless to say, he was incredibly excited. This is what it feels like to be a true necromancer. Look at that colossal body. It's even stronger than the top-tier tankers. Jae-hyun immediately snapped his fingers. And most importantly, Golem copy mode. A connection between Jae-hyun and the golem seemed to appear. Everything was going according to his calculations. He exclaimed joyfully, "A mode that links the golem's movements with mine, combining my speed and its power? will create an incredible synergy. The moment Jaehyun attacked, the golem just looked down at him, bewildered. The situation made him feel extremely embarrassed. Huh? Why isn't it working? A bug it has to be. Suddenly, the golem's body finally began to move slowly. It tried to mimic the action he had just performed. Realizing something was wrong, Jaehyun forced a smile. Wait, don't tell me that's its maximum speed. He continued to ask himself, what kind of joke is this? But inside, he felt utterly hopeless. In this outdated game world, the golem could only sluggishly copy his actions. Elsewhere, Nergal's voice rang out. Now then, everyone has gathered. Shall we begin the meeting? Everyone is present. Please continue your announcement. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules. I am Nergal, Guild Master of Ares. Matador burst out laughing excitedly. Well, look at this. The same old familiar faces. I am Matador Shev, Guild Master of Red Bull. Burke, Guild Master of Big Smile, remained silent on the side. Even the Thunder Queen, Guild Master of the Thunder God Guild, said nothing more. Burke suddenly felt discouraged. Of the 29 people invited, only 4 showed up. Such a crowd, really. Matador looked up at him. Is that so? I think this is quite amazing. It's not every day you see representatives of the 30 major guilds sitting at the same table. It's a rare event, Nergal exclaimed in surprise. This has never happened before. The top 30 strongest guilds in Emperor, also known as the major guilds, are usually busy fighting over resources and power. Normally, no one has the time to sit around and drink tea like this, but our guild has discovered the true identity of the corrupted lord, and they are planning their final attack within the next month. It seems Matador on the side was still very optimistic. That's bombshell news. While we still haven't found a single trace, if what you say is true, then Hydra has hit the jackpot. Suddenly, Burke slammed his hand down under the table. He shouted in anger, once they take down the corrupted lord, it's all over. From then on, they'll monopolize the entire main quest line. Think of the sponsorship money, the ad revenue, and the content that will follow, Solyon said slowly. Lorem ipsum. Stop your whining and crawl back to your hole. Don't stand here spouting nonsense. This attitude enraged Burke. What are you trying to do, Thunder Queen? Matador quickly tried to calm them down. Whoa, calm down, you two. We're not here to argue. Nergal nodded in agreement. That's right. Fighting will only make it easier for Hydra to win. Therefore, today I propose to you all an anti-Hydra alliance. The 4 guilds present here will avoid all armed conflict with each other and share all information about the Corrupted Lord from now until the Corrupted Lord chapter is over. Any objections? Matador sighed. I'm not a fan of these shady alliances, but I guess it's fine. Burke added, call it whatever you want, but if we don't stop Hydra now, we're all finished. Nergal reminded everyone, then this meeting is adjourned. Afterwards, Seolyeon returned to her familiar home to wash up. No one knew what she was thinking in her head. Her expression became one of utter desperation. How pathetic. We've fallen so low that we have to ally with others just because we can't beat a boss in the first chapter. But there's no other choice now. If Hydra gets the Corrupted Lord, there won't be another chance. Now is the time to act carefully and plan the next step. After making a phone call, Seolyeon gave a cold command. From now on, I want all members to monitor Hydra, report their every move. We will take down the Corrupted Lord by any means necessary. The scene quickly shifted to the Suryu City branch of the Hunter Association. Jaehyun was in disbelief. What? Where did you say I have to go? The man continued the announcement. I said you have to go to the Bovor Forest. That's where Agent Miggy disappeared. Check the area and bring back any clues you find. He was about to say something else, but the Bovor Forest is full of level 70 monsters. It's a death zone. I'll be torn to pieces the moment I step inside. He sighed tiredly and reminded him, that's exactly why you need to go, disciple of Master Ahimbri. You will go to the Bovor Forest, or else I will revoke your title as the Corrupted Tracer. Jaehyun's expression completely changed. What? The scene shifts to the game town. Jaehyun sat despairingly in this land. His face was filled with frustration. What is this nonsense? The quest window appeared. The quest appeared. Find Miggy. Find the missing agent Miggy who was investigating the Evil Stone and accept his quest. Reward, 500 gold plus an extra. Penalty, loss of the Corrupted Hunter title if not completed on time. Time remaining, 9 days and 33 minutes. Penalty, loss of the Corrupted Hunter title if not completed within the time limit. This situation left Jaehyun at a complete loss for words. If I lose the Corrupted Tracer title, I'll be out of the main quest line. What is this ridiculous difficulty? It seems my habit of taking on quests that are way beyond my abilities is finally paying off. Normally, I wouldn't have been able to complete them at all, but I somehow managed to do it and moved on to the next quest. And now, when the man reminded me to go to Bobaru Forest first, it hit Jaehyun. I've taken on a quest meant for level 60 and above. What am I going to do? I can't just abandon the main quest like this, but I really can't enter Bobaru Forest. He noticed the brown-haired person behind him chatting. Do you think the Hydra Guild will finish the main quest chain? If they do, they'll definitely surpass all the other guilds. The mage nodded in agreement. The other guilds in the top 30 are struggling to even start that quest chain. Suddenly he realized something was wrong. But wait a minute. If the Fallen Count is defeated, what will happen to all the other ongoing main quest chains? Hearing this conversation, Jaehyun couldn't help but laugh in surprise. Maybe. I don't have to go to Bobaru Forest after all. Watching the castle before them, the masked man complained out of boredom. Nothing unusual today either. When is this finally going to end? Just sitting here watching the castle all day is driving me crazy. Don't you think so too? Natal. This young man with the golden hair is Natal, the 8th-ranked commander in the Hydra Guild. The masked man kept talking. I wonder what the reward for defeating the Fallen Count is. The Hydra Guild will definitely rise to the top, right? Natal sternly reminded him, Don't get ahead of yourself. Our work here isn't finished. Our mission is to secretly surveil the Fallen Count's castle. We can't afford to get careless and leak any information. A true professional knows how to remain composed. Just then Kims ran up cheerfully. Found you, Natal of Hydra. Annoyed, he turned around. What do you want? Kims, ranked 3rd in the Red Bulls, smiled and said, Long time no see, heya. A bewildered Natal asked, What are the Red Bulls doing here? Kims calmly pointed behind him. The boss on this mountain is high level, so I'm on my way to take it down. Isn't that why you guys are here too? He glanced at his comrade. We can't, he thought, then nodded. Right. He moved closer to look him over. You don't look so good. Need to go powder your nose? Natal suddenly shouted, Of course not, which made Kims relax. Okay, so it's an emergency then. I'm off then. Feel free to relieve yourself. Natal kept shouting, Hey, I said it's not like that. Come back. The masked man realized something. Natal. While he was still fuming, Kims left the area. He took out a watch-like device and sent a signal. His expression grew serious. Hydra's 8th commander is here. It seems the intel we received was real. Boss, Mathador said in disbelief, it can't be. An anonymous tip about the Fallen Count's location. I was sure it was just a prank, even though we checked it out just in case. Yell quickly chimed in on the side. They gave us such critical information, anonymously and for free. What could their motive be? He immediately shook his head. No idea. Maybe a disgruntled member of the Hydra Guild. On the other end of the line, Kims reminded them impatiently. Hey, we're not in a position to be picky right now. We're about to lose everything to the Hydra Guild. So, should I cause a scene to buy us some time? Hearing this, Mathador gave a cold command. No. For now, you fall back. If that's really the Fallen Count's castle, I'm sure most of Hydra's forces are already gathered there. We can't afford to lose a key player right now. Kim sighed, a bit disappointed. You're making me blush. It's not like the Red Bulls will fall apart without me. A loud explosion erupted, completely shattering the ground. Sensing something was terribly wrong, Mathador grew worried. Kims! He seems to be in danger. It looks like we weren't the only ones who got that intel, boss. The Electric Chihuahua, the Princess of the Lightning Hunters Guild has arrived. The woman with golden hair smiled and ordered, Spill it if you don't want to die. She is the Lightning Princess, Hahui of the Lightning Hunters Guild. Elsewhere, the ferocious beast was still roaring. The golem had also entered its combat stance. The beast immediately charged forward to attack, and the golem assumed a defensive position. It was waiting for the perfect moment to counterattack. Suddenly, its eyes began to glow. Seizing the opportunity, it charged forward to attack without hesitation. But the golem's speed was so slow that it disappointed the onlookers. Jae-hyun, watching from a tree, wasn't paying much attention to this fight. A notification appeared, but there was no response. He felt disappointed. Why is it so quiet? I definitely sent the message. I should have gotten a reply by now. The only way to solve this without going to the Bobaru Forest is to force the quest to end. The main quest line in Warlord focuses on a series of characters. Currently, the first chapter is underway. It's about that corrupt count, and when he's defeated, this chapter will end. All related quests will also stop immediately. Jae-hyun sighed, exhausted. Even if I confronted him myself, Succeeding in such a short amount of time is impossible. It would be much better to use that time to start the next chapter. So it doesn't matter who it is. I just need someone to defeat him. That's why I spread the information everywhere. Why isn't anyone responding? The feeling that something was wrong caught his attention. Information appeared on the screen. The official channel of the Hydra Guild just started a live stream. At the same time, the golem's arm crashed heavily to the ground. It dazedly realized its body was gradually falling apart. Seizing the opportunity, the beast quickly lunged forward to attack. Jaehyun leaped from behind to take out the beast. Shut up! I need to watch this live stream. Stop making so much noise. He opened the screen again to watch. Welcome all viewers. We, the Hydra Guild, are the pioneers who have discovered the whereabouts of the corrupted Count, and we plan to organize a raid. The scheduled time for the raid is... Jaehyun thought to himself, I hope it's this month, please. The voice from the screen continued, right now. Hearing the result he wanted, Jaehyun immediately turned off his phone screen. In 3 days. Sooner than I thought. But not surprising. It's just as I predicted. He stood frozen for a few seconds. His face lit up with excitement. In 3 days? That's great! Meanwhile, the beast and the golem continued to fight. Watching the heated battle before him, Jaehyun sighed. In 3 days, huh? That's fast. They must have gotten worried because I spread the info to other guilds. If it's Hydra, I don't have to worry. They're ahead of the other guilds in the main quest progression, and they have many skilled players. Once the main quest ends, my biggest obstacle will disappear. In 3 days, my happy life will begin. Elsewhere, a warrior collapsed to the ground in pain. A system notification appeared. Failure. All members of the Hydra Guild have died. Jaehyun stared at his phone screen, startled. He threw his phone aside. Are you kidding me? If you were going to do it so soon, you should have at least had a proper plan. Why even bother if you're just going to fail in an hour? Did I overestimate them? Should I start looking for a replacement? Another notification appeared. Red Bull has started a live stream. Jaehyun seemed to remember something. The Red Bull Guild. Isn't that where Matador Shev is? Don't tell me. Matador gazed thoughtfully at the vast space before him. The battlefield has reset. Hydra must have failed. Warriors, do you see what happened? He is a powerful enemy strong enough to wipe out the Hydra Guild. Not only that, but we don't have enough supplies in reserve. Our chances of success are very low. He suddenly slammed his sword into the ground. But Red Bull will take on the challenge. His words ignited the will of everyone in the guild. They repeatedly chanted, Red Bull! Red Bull! Jaehyun was speechless at the scene. Are they going to start right now? Even if Red Bull is here, isn't it a bit... Matador continued his announcement. Now let me introduce the comrades who will be joining us on this raid. The master of the Thunderhunt Guild, the Lightning Queen, Seolyeon, slowly approached. Jaehyun couldn't believe the scene before him. What the? Che Seolyeon. He never imagined this wicked woman would appear before him again. A few hours earlier, Matador let out a surprised laugh. Well, this is unexpected. I never thought the Lightning Queen herself would request a meeting. Don't tell me you're here to declare war on us, Seolyeon said coldly. Of course not. We're allies now. He breathed a sigh of relief. Is that so? I heard one of my men was beaten quite badly. She replied casually, It was nothing. Just our way of welcoming you. Anyway, let's get down to business. I hear you have information about the fallen Count. He looked bewildered. Information? I don't know what you're talking about. Seolyeon replied, I don't have time for your games. I've confirmed that a few people from the top 30 guilds have received intel on the fallen Count. The fact that someone like you, who couldn't even begin to track the Count, has suddenly started, even an idiot would notice. Seeing this, Matador sighed. You really are something else, you're right. However, we don't know exactly who tipped us off. Her expression grew even more cunning. So, next question. Do you think the Hydra Guild can pull it off? He speculated. I'm not sure. She immediately announced, They will fail. They rush the raid because they want to be the first. The Fallen Count is the first main quest boss. It won't be easy. They'd have a much better chance if they let other guilds go first and just gather intel. Matador's eyes gradually turned cold. I'm sure you're not here just to talk about the Hydra Guild. What's your angle? Solyeon's expression remained perfectly calm. The next second, she slammed her sword down on the table. Her expression was completely unfazed. How about we work together? On the Fallen Count raid. I'll help you get the first clear. His words made Matador freeze instantly. I thought she was just bluffing back then. Back in the present, he let out a surprised laugh. Of course! She has the skills to back up her words. However, the Fallen Count appeared. Not bad for a bunch of lowly trash. I am the Fallen Count. the final boss of the Chapter 1 main quest. The fallen Count attacked directly. "I will crush you all!" Filthy monsters swarmed the area. The scene was utter chaos as the two sides clashed. "The monsters are charging! Hold them back!" A chaotic battle erupted. Matador seemed to realize something was wrong. "Our forces have reached their limit. If this keeps up..." Solyan also sighed in frustration. "There are too many of them!" Just then he appeared before her, much to her confusion. Matador spoke again. "Lightning Queen, I'll open a path for you. Go!" As soon as he finished speaking, Solyan looked straight ahead, her eyes filled with determination. She focused on the fallen Count, who was still rampaging. He roared in fury. "How dare you!" The tentacles attacked relentlessly, forcing Solyan to constantly dodge. Then she leaped into the air, preparing to attack. A triumphant smile spread across her face. "It's over!" While Solyan was still confident, a tentacle suddenly pierced through her body. It turned out she had been too confident in her own strength. Seeing that things had gone wrong, Matador frantically shouted, "Lightning Queen!" It seemed Solyan was about to lose consciousness. Just as everyone fell into despair, a series of decisive slashes appeared. Solyan was back in the fight. Her eyes were those of a bloodthirsty warrior. Solyan landed a decisive blow on the fallen Count's body. As expected of the game world's empress, she handled that monster with ease. Seeing this, Matador couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Honestly, he looked like, "She's scarier than I thought." A system notification popped up. Hong Gnu and Lei Leap have defeated the fallen Count. Jaehyun stared at his phone screen in shock. Chae Solyan defeated the fallen Count? A strange thought crossed his mind. He sighed and quickly stood up. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that the fallen Count was defeated. Who defeated him is irrelevant. Enjoy it while you can. The fallen Count is the last boss you guys will ever get. In the end, the one who will be left standing. Solyan's expression remained calm after the battle. But Jaehyun, filled with a burning hatred and determination, knew, "Will be me." The scene changes to Mount Bulkus. The story is retold. I am An Jaehyun. In the game, I use the name Haerkan. For some reason, I became a professional gamer in Warlord. My dream is to become the strongest in this game and get revenge on the bastards who wronged me. Suddenly, Jaehyun spoke up. "However, why does it always end up like this?" He and his skeleton soldiers tried to escape from a giant beast, flashing back a few hours earlier. Jaehyun breathed a sigh of relief. "Finally, we're here. The area is sealed off. This is the entrance to the Vulcus Mountains." While the skeleton soldier was still confused, Jaehyun continued to explain. "The area is locked until a certain condition is met. No one can get in." A smug grin appeared on his face. "But I know a secret. These Vulcus Mountains are actually the main location for the Chapter 2 main quest. And as soon as Chapter 1, the Fallen Count, is completed, it will automatically open." A notification appeared. "You have entered the Vulcus Mountains area. You have obtained the title, First to Set Foot in the Vulcus Mountains. All stats increase by 2 points. Job-related stats increase by 1 point." Jaehyun was ecstatic. "Looks like nobody else knows about this yet. All right, let's get a move on, my skeleton soldiers. From this moment on, your master will act alone." Lying, he ran towards the monsters ahead. They were level 60 boars, extremely aggressive monsters that usually travel in herds, and Jaehyun was only a level 41 Hirkin. He kept his eyes on the ferocious boar. He was clearly no match for it. The boar quickly and ferociously chased after Jaehyun's group, and now, all he could do was run. Damn it, what rotten luck. Why are they standing right at the map's entrance? Sooner or later, other players will find out this sealed area has opened. I can't waste any more time. In this situation, there's no other choice. I have to fight, no matter the cost. Jaehyun immediately leaped into the air. "Skeleton soldier, equip helmet!" The skeleton soldier followed his command and got into position. The giant boar opened its mouth wide, revealing its sharp teeth. It could easily send the skeleton soldier flying in just a few seconds. Jaehyun was frozen by the sight. The notification updated again. The skeleton soldier has been destroyed after taking excessive damage. He was a bit stunned. Huh? In just one hit? But then, a confident smile appeared on his face. But they're just bait. Jaehyun directly used Curse of Sloth. He smiled at them. You won't be able to move for about 5 seconds. Then he quickly summoned his familiar sword. Now then, you'll pay for destroying my skeleton soldier. Just as he was looking cool, Jaehyun accidentally slipped on a banana peel. And just like that, he slammed face first into the ground. To make matters worse, the banana peel from before landed on his head. This situation made Jaehyun incredibly embarrassed. What the hell is this? The level 50 monkeys, provocative monsters, saw what happened and laughed until they were nearly in tears. It was then that Jae-hyun realized his opponents weren't just the monsters. He had completely lost it. "You little brat, get over here!" A notification continued to appear. Effect: Curse of Lethargy has expired. Seeing the wild boars charging at him, he was startled. Shit, the curse already wore off. At that critical moment, a blinding light appeared. It then eliminated the wild boar before Jae-hyun was harmed. The sudden situation startled him. Huh? What the hell? The mysterious person quickly took aim and fired their crossbow repeatedly. In just a short time, Jae-hyun stared blankly as all the monsters were completely wiped out. Everything happened so fast it astonished Jae-hyun. He took down the whole pack of boars in a single blow. The mysterious person quickly walked over and asked, "Are you hurt?" The familiar face surprised him. "Don't tell me this is..." The scene quickly shifted to the city of Tsuryu. The brown-haired guy quickly called out to his teammate, Hey, look, isn't that the full Mamba set? You know, that set is worth a fortune." The black-haired guy was shocked. "Really? Is he a ranked player?" "But I've never seen this guy before." Ano suddenly asked, "Have you verified the identity of the informant yet?" "Mikkel." He instantly appeared from behind. "Ano, it seems even the designated guilds know nothing. Can't blame them. I mean, someone who knows the identity of the fallen count and just gives that information to the guilds for free? It's unheard of. How am I supposed to track them down?" This caught his attention. "The Haho mask. No trace of him?" Mikkel replied coldly. "The Haho mask? He just posts normal hunting videos. I think it's the giant bear strategy. In any case, there's no way a rookie who just got the quest could be behind an event this big. More importantly, which guild is supporting them this time?" Ano turned and walked away. "The Purification Guild." Mikkel sighed wearily. "Looks like things are about to get chaotic again." He continued to instruct, "I'll handle the support from the guilds myself. So you focus on finding the culprit, Michael. No matter who they are, they will pay the price for disrupting the balance of this world. They must." The scene shifts to the familiar house in the forest. The man was surprised. "So you're Ahimbri's disciple?" Jae-hyun nodded happily, yes, thinking to himself, this is so lucky. The key NPC for the Chapter 2 main quest. I finally found Mong. He spoke slowly. "It's a good thing I ran into you while I was on patrol." He quickly recalled that Mong was once strong enough to teach swordsmanship to the prince, but he was demoted due to an unfortunate incident. And now he's just the captain of the scouts protecting the Vulcas Mountains. He's the key NPC for the Chapter 2 progression. Finding him here is pure luck. The man suddenly warned, "Go back." Jae-hyun was immediately stunned. Mong repeated, "I don't know how you wandered here, but there's nothing here but monsters. Go back to where you came from before you get seriously hurt." Just then, Jae-hyun announced, "The fallen count is dead." The man's hand immediately froze. He thought to himself, playing dumb is pointless. "I already know the keyword to start Chapter 2. Jae-hyun reminded him, "But the fallen monsters are still out there. While searching for their origin, I came here. Do you have any idea what's behind this?" After thinking for a moment, Mong spoke up. "I suspect someone, but I don't have any proof. Can you help me gather evidence?" A series of notifications arrived. "You have received the title, First to Meet the Vulcas Scout. You have received the title, The Initiator. All stats plus 14. He found it hard to believe. 2 high-grade titles. The main quest really is on another level. Jae-hyun stepped closer. "Leave it to me." "Where do I start?" Mong advised. "Calm down first. Investigate the monsters around here." Information appeared. Request from Vulcas Scout Mong. Eliminate monsters in the Vulcas Mountains, 1 out of 50. Reward, 500 gold. Mong's trust. After that, Jae-hyun went outside to hunt monsters. "I need to grind levels anyway, so this works out perfectly. I'll save the wild boars and warrior bears for later. Better start with the easy ones first." And then something suddenly occurred to him. He just couldn't forget the face of that business monkey. A smile of anticipation spread across Jae-hyun's face. "Looks like it's time to teach someone a proper lesson, huh?" A leaf falls and the scene turns bleak. A pitiful man accidentally slips on a banana peel. Behind him, a trap has already been set. From above, a challenger monkey silently watches everything unfold. It lets out a huge, amused laugh. Just then, the warrior notices it, which takes it by surprise. Even so, it doesn't show any fear. The challenger quickly hops around in excitement. Jae-hyun suddenly appears. "Gotcha! Hey there, little monkey." Its expression slowly turns to fear. He continues asking, "Any last words?" Moments later, Jae-hyun charges forward, sword in hand. He continuously battles this defiant monkey. Its relaxed demeanor only infuriates him more. Its nimble body continuously dodges his attacks. Jae-hyun gives chase angrily. Seriously? This thing is such a pain. It's too fast, and with all these dense trees, I can't land a hit. Annoyed by the situation, Jae-hyun thinks, all right then, so be it. He raises his sword high and pulls it back. A decisive slash strikes straight towards the challenger monkey's body. Startled, it turns its head back to assess the situation. The sight of the decisive attack fills it with terror. Finally, the challenger monkey falls, slamming hard against a tree behind it. The sword is lodged firmly in the tree trunk. Despite this, it shows no fear and lets out a loud laugh. Jae-hyun's expression is completely calm. That blade was just a fake, you idiot. The massive figure of a golem appears. It immediately uses its copy skill. Everything in the area is completely devastated. Jae-hyun watches from above. A notification appears. You have received the title, First to Defeat an Ironclad Ape. He smiles joyfully. Job's done, and now the Ironclad Ape hunt officially begins. Elsewhere, reporters are snapping photos non-stop. They shout endlessly, over here! Look this way too! Sir Shev of the Red Bull Guild and Lady Syl of the Thunder Hunters Guild. Congratulations on being the first to defeat the chapter's final boss. A reporter rushes over. Thunder Queen, what would you like to say about this victory? Seolyeon forces a smile. I believe we were just lucky. However, I will strive to achieve even better results in the future. But afterwards, her expression turns incredibly sour. The Lightning Princess runs after her, full of praise. Thunder Queen Syl, you were incredible. Honestly, when the final boss appeared, I thought I was a goner. But you charged right in and took down the Howling Overlord. Seolyeon suddenly cuts her off. It was just luck. If we hadn't joined forces with Red Bull, this raid would have surely failed. Her expression is annoyed. To get a decisive victory, I need someone like him. The thought exhausts Seolyeon. Hahui, contact Heichi. She is startled. What? That idiot? What for? She announces coldly, I've found new prey. Elsewhere, the sword shatters completely. Jae-hyun finishes off the ironclad ape. A notification appears. Equipment durability has reached 0 and has been destroyed. What a shame. Damn it, it's broken. Well, I guess it's time to upgrade my gear anyway. The only problem is I'm completely broke. Jae-hyun decided he'd just have to go farm for some gems. Monster gems, rare items dropped by monsters, are used for crafting. Each gem has its own unique stat boost. The Green Goblin gem increases dexterity by 1 point, and the Werewolf gem increases attack by 2 points, reflecting the monster's characteristics. If I remember correctly, the stats on the Armored Ape gem are pretty good. It'd be great for crafting gear. Jae-hyun shouted to get the skeleton soldier's attention. All right, from this moment on, I'm hunting you apes until you're extinct. The sight of this made them freeze. 9 hours passed. Jae-hyun was in complete despair. He'd gotten nothing. I've killed so many of them and not a single gem has dropped? I'm sure just a few more will do it. That's right, just one more. Just then, Quixote walked up and called out, getting Jae-hyun's attention. Hey, you're Haho Mask, right? The sudden question surprised Jae-hyun. Who's this? He's wearing the full Fire Roller God set. And he's holding the Orc Hero sword. He's got to be at least level 70. Don't tell me, he's one of them. Jae-hyun felt a flicker of anxiety seeing him appear here. At the same time, the man calmly introduced himself. My name is Quixote. Then, his incredibly strange posture left Jae-hyun speechless. He stood straight before him. I've come to challenge you, Haho Mask. You're the most famous person on WTube right now. This scene made Jae-hyun freeze. Quixote continued, If I can beat you, I'll be a star by tonight. Jae-hyun turned away, annoyed. Another fame chaser. He replied, I'm busy. Get lost. The man quickly called out, Wait a minute. He thought to himself, I'm already stressed out from this non-stop gem farming, and now I have to deal with this psycho. Quixote kept pleading, I'm begging you. If you fight me, I'll pay you 5,000 gold. That amount made Jae-hyun stop in his tracks. Geez, these clout chasers. His attitude did a complete 180. It would be my honor to serve you, sir. He realized, this guy is the best. Quixote on the side was still jumping around like a madman. I am Quixote, a champion of justice. With a talent like mine, people always praised me. Thanks, Quixote. He had misunderstood their intentions. No matter what game I played, I was always the hero. They constantly flattered him. These guys are crazy about you, Quixote. He realized, that's me, Quixote. His hand shot forward, but things weren't as great as he thought. In Warlord, nobody cared about me. He kept introducing himself. I am Quixote. An interrupting voice said, Ha-Ho Mask's moves are insane. He ignored it. Hello. Everyone already knows me. That voice cut in again. I subscribed to your channel right after watching the video. They ignored him off to the side. Hey, Hey-Ho Mask just dropped a new clip. This made Quixote feel incredibly indignant. He was furious. That bastard Hey-Ho Mask. I was just starting to get a little attention, and he shows up and steals my entire spotlight. Why is everyone so obsessed with him? His level is lower, and his gear is worse than mine. Wait a minute. Where the hell am I? I was so mad I just ran without looking. A burst of laughter caught his attention. Recognizing Jae-hyun's familiar face, he was startled. Wait, is that Ha-Ho Mask? He's farming here? But this area is supposed to be sealed off. It seemed another crazy idea popped into Quixote's head. Hold on a second. If I record myself beating the crap out of him, all of his fans will become my fans. With that thought, Quixote stepped forward. So, Ha-Ho Mask, I challenge you to a one-on-one duel. If you win, I'll give you 5,000 gold. This situation left Jae-hyun speechless. What the hell are you doing? Why are you suddenly stripping for a fight? Are you insane? He explained, Of course, I'm doing this to ensure a fair fight. I heard your weapon is broken, so I don't want people saying I won just because my gear is better. I want a true one-on-one duel, one that the crowd can't criticize. Come at me with everything you've got, Ha-Ho Mask. This sight left Jae-hyun at a loss for words. Oh my god. How am I supposed to take this seriously when you're just standing there in your underwear? He didn't seem to care. Enough talk, let's go. A powerful blow came flying. He hurriedly dodged. Please, just listen to what I'm saying. He paid no mind and kept attacking him relentlessly from all sides. Quixote was clearly getting annoyed. Stop dodging all the time and fight me for real. Jae-hyun was completely at a loss. Well, how about you try not to make me lose all will to fight, standing there in your underwear? This completely enraged him. Skill! Quixote's power seemed to explode once again. He thrust decisively straight at Jae-hyun's face. Explosion! He, too, was startled by this sudden speed. Luckily, he managed to block in time but was still thrown back forcefully. A loud explosion rang out and a cloud of dust and smoke appeared. Startled, Jae-hyun quickly sat up. What the hell? Explosion? That was a warrior-class speed-boosting skill. He's a complete idiot, but he's clearly a higher level than me. If we're talking pure strength, I'm definitely at a disadvantage. In that case... His eyes suddenly turned serious. Quixote was puzzled to see Jae-hyun stand up. So you're finally taking this seriously, Ha-Ho Mask? Excellent. Now fight me with everything you've got. And when I take you down at your peak, everyone will know who the strongest one truly is. Quixote's familiar attack appeared once again. Explosion! But as he attacked, Jae-hyun had already vanished. Startled, he quickly shielded his face. What, is the ground shaking? Taking the opportunity, he forcefully threw him backwards. Jae-hyun quickly stepped in front of him. If I can't win with strength, then I'll win with skill. A barrage of decisive punches rained down, leaving Quixote no time to react. He was sent flying backwards without any resistance. His whole body trembled. You call that skill? That's a dirty trick. Jae-hyun stepped closer. Dirty? In a life-or-death battle, there's no such thing as a dirty trick. And that's also why you lost. Because you care more about your reputation than the fight itself. Next, he quickly summoned Skill, Skin Stitch. Use item, Armored Key Skin, Merge. A system notification appeared. Your body has been enhanced by the essence of Armored Kai. Defense +7. Realizing something was wrong, Quixote was startled. Wait a minute. That punch. Just one hit from that will drain my health. Jae-hyun charged forward again. You're the one who started this fight, so you'd better face the consequences. He hurriedly put up his hands to block. Wait, hold on! I surrender. Helpless tears streamed down his face. It was too late. Jae-hyun struck directly. But luckily, he intentionally missed. The space behind him was completely blown apart by his power. Quixote was still trembling at the thought. My god, that was terrifying. I almost forgot this was just a game. Jae-hyun smiled. You're trembling. That means I won, doesn't it? Now hand over the 5,000 gold. I'm guessing you don't want your account locked for 2 days, right? Then... he suddenly spoke. Amazing. You're seriously strong. You're insanely strong. Truly amazing. Jae-hyun was at a loss for words. What the hell is wrong with this guy? He sighed and said, I, Quixote, fully accept my defeat, along with the promised 5,000 gold. I'll give you my sword. Looking at the sword in his hand made Jae-hyun tremble. This is the Orc hero's sword. It increases strength by 66, stamina by 66, and has 9% armor penetration. This is a top-tier item worth at least 15,000 gold on the market, and you're just giving it to me like that? I mean, why would you give me such a valuable item? Quixote smiled and announced, as a token of my gratitude. I was too obsessed with chasing fame. I forgot what it means to be strong. You reminded me of that. Take it, you, my brother. Truly worthy of becoming Quixote's family. These words immediately surprised Jaehyun. He's giving me this sword just for that? What a clown. But I guess he's kinda cool. Lying, he kicked Quixote. As if I'd say that, you deserve my foot. Get out of my sight. Get him, skeletons! The skeleton soldiers quickly obeyed and surrounded him. His shrill scream echoed throughout the forest. No! Afterwards, he was beaten to a pulp. My full name is Don Quixote. One day I will return and be worthy of your brotherhood. Until then, farewell, brother. Jaehyun quickly walked away. What a psycho. A bright smile appeared on his face. But still, someone who knows how to have fun in the game. I'm actually a little jealous. Anyway, I got an amazing sword. With this, I don't need to grind armored monkeys anymore. This is more than enough to move on to the next quest. Jaehyun's feet suddenly stopped. But maybe I'll just hunt 10 more armored monkeys. I have a feeling the jewel will really drop this time. While the skeleton soldiers tried to stop him, he kept walking. Hey, let me go. I swear it's definitely going to drop this time. I can feel it. Lesson learned. Gambling addiction is a serious condition. Information about the sword appeared. Orc Hero's Sword. Rare. Strength plus 66. Stamina plus 66. Ignores 9% of a monster's defense. Mong looked at the proofs of kill in his hands, surprised. His voice rang out. My goodness, 950 armored monkeys, 104 ant-fanged wolves, and 76 venomous lizards? Very impressive. Your contribution will help our investigation go smoothly. However, why do you look so strange? Jaehyun looked extremely excited. Remembering something made him laugh. Sorry, I was just thinking about how to properly spend the money I just earned. Mong then reminded him, you need to listen carefully. The next mission is extremely dangerous. Here, near the summit of this mountain, a bear warrior has been spotted. The bear warrior. It's up to 4 meters tall and incredibly ferocious. What's worse, they're equipped like professional soldiers. If we can investigate the source of its weapons, we might find a clue about the corruption. It seemed Jaehyun understood. So in short, you want me to kill that bear and bring back its gear, right? Got it. Maung still seemed worried. Will you be all right alone? Even veteran hunters are wary of it. You should find some teammates. Jaehyun cut him off. That's not necessary. His voice was firm and confident. I've already figured out a way to deal with it. The scene changes to another vast area. Jaehyun continued his search. That bear warrior must be around here somewhere. I'm getting close. Jaehyun's demeanor became incredibly relaxed. Now then, time to spend some money. He grinned in anticipation. Notifications kept popping up. You have activated the auction house. Player-to-player trading has been enabled. Jaehyun considered, the most expensive gear I can buy at my current level is the Serpent Skull set. An incredibly intimidating item appeared before his eyes. Following that is a new notification. You have acquired the Serpent Head Pauldrons. You have acquired the Serpent Head Greaves. You have acquired the Serpent Head Gauntlets. You have acquired the Serpent Head Belt. You have acquired the Serpent Skeleton set. Defense increased by 70. Mana increased by 34. Stamina increased by 34. Set effect. Reduces mana consumption by 10%. You have spent 37,896 gold. Reading this number made even Jaehyun hold back a laugh. He felt incredibly happy. Now this is what it feels like to have money. With this balance, I'm gonna buy up all the skill books for my level. The notifications continued to appear. You have acquired the skill books, Soul Corrosion, Blindness, Muscle Augmentation, False Heart, Bone Bomb, and Sacrifice. You have spent 17,593 gold. He still felt joyful. Great. There's still a level gap between me and the bear, but burning all this cash on these items should be fine. As soon as Jaehyun turned around, the skeleton soldiers looked at him with expectant eyes. He immediately turned to look at the system. Right, I almost forgot about you guys. Let's see. For the skeleton soldiers, arranging it like this should... A notification popped up. Insufficient funds. Those words were like a knife stabbing him in the heart. What is this? Why not? Am I completely broke? Hey guys, it seems we're just a little bit short. The skeleton soldiers' expressions turned to complete despair, startling Jae-hyun. They're rebelling. Wait, let me explain. I didn't do it on purpose. As soon as the system gets money, I will... Over there, those monsters! If we take them down, we might have enough money. Seeing the battle ahead made Jae-hyun sigh in relief. Luckily, a herd of wild boars was passing through. I don't know what's wrong with them being so obsessed with new gear. Time passed until a little while later. The last wild boar was so pitiful it started to cry. But clearly, the skeleton soldiers weren't going to let it go. Seeing this, Jae-hyun reminded them, "Hey, stop messing around and finish it quickly. I'll upgrade your gear after we get going." Just as they were about to strike, something else finished off the wild boar. He quickly turned his head. "What is it now?" A voice called out. "Hey, who gave you permission to hunt here? This area belongs to the Apollo Guild." Jae-hyun realized something. These guys, the members of the Apollo Guild, questioned him. "You want to die?" He realized, it's these scumbags. They introduced themselves automatically. "We are the mighty Wangjang, Ajang, and Iljang, the sworn brothers from the glorious Apollo Guild." A bright smile spread across Jae-hyun's face. "I get it now." In just a short moment, he immediately rushed forward to take care of these guys. They collapsed to the ground. Jae-hyun spoke up. "More of these brats wasting my time. Where do pathetic mobs like you keep popping up from? Or am I just having a streak of bad luck? What a waste of time. Let's go." Two of them hurriedly pressed their watches to send a signal. "How dare you! You'll regret messing with our guild!" Elsewhere, their boss had already received the news. "What? He dared to hit my men after hearing my name?" His subordinate quickly bowed and reported, "Yes, Lord Apollo." He threw down an item and commanded, "By any means necessary, bring him to me. No one dares to insult my name and just walk away. I'll make him pay dearly." Elsewhere, Jae-hyun felt incredibly excited. The vast space before him caught his attention. "We're here." A notification appeared. "Bear warrior spawning area." He turned his head to talk. "All right, let's get started. Skeleton soldiers, you guys ready?" All the skeleton soldiers in this place were already in a state of readiness, which surprised him. "What the hell is this, you guys?" There's a time for jokes and a time to be serious, don't you get it? Today we're going to take down a bear warrior. It's a level 70 monster with 3 combat phases. I'm warning you now, it won't be easy. But if we take it down, I'll get ahead of the 30 major guilds in the main quest chain. So don't screw up the plan, got it? Just stick to the plan. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. The shadow of a giant monster appeared in an instant. It was the level 70 warrior bear. Jae-hyun tapped the screen. "All right, let's go. Activate." Armor formed around his body as the warrior bear charged in to attack. He smiled and glanced back at it. "This main quest chain is mine." Elsewhere, Heichi arrived at his destination. "So that's Mount Vulcus, huh? Please let the Heiho mask still be there." Suddenly, he fell strangely silent. His expression turned to despair. "What the hell am I doing here, dragging myself to this remote place? I'm worth so much more than being sent to pick up a rookie. And if he refuses to go, am I supposed to force him? God, that's basically kidnapping." Just then, a level 65 wild boar king attacked. Seeing that things were not looking good, Heichi slowly turned his head. He gripped the staff in his hand and the wild boar was instantly engulfed in flames. Clearly, he could handle the monster with ease. But he looked incredibly dejected. "I want to quit so bad." He is Ballista Hatch of the Thunderslayers Guild. Currently ranked 5th among warlord mages, he continued to complain, "Please just show up, Ha-Ho Mask." Before Jae-hyun stood the level 70 warrior bear. He could barely wait any longer. "All right, let's do this. Link?" He was really looking forward to this battle with the ferocious bear. Jae-hyun turned his head again and declared, "This main quest is mine." Immediately after, the warrior bear charged in to attack. Jae-hyun's expression was perfectly calm. "In my past life, when my guild hunted this thing, it took us 6 tries to beat it. If that happens again, someone else will get ahead of me in this critical quest. To deal effective damage to the warrior bear, I have to aim for the joints between its armor plates and wooden frame. I can do this. That's why I learned a new skill, after all." With this thought, Jae-hyun smiled and commanded, "Bone Soldier, listen to my command. Stay close. Time to use my new passive skill, Muscle Boost. Let's go!" It seemed he could wait no longer. Perhaps because he was in too much of a rush, Jae-hyun couldn't control his own power. He whipped his head around in a panic and shouted, What is this? Wait, stop right now!" The warrior bear and the bone soldier stared at him from the side, utterly bewildered. A few seconds later, the bone soldier was destroyed by the warrior bear. "Your bone soldier has taken maximum damage and has disintegrated." Jae-hyun furiously shouted, Block it, you useless thing! A notification appeared. Muscle boost. Increases leg strength for faster, more powerful movement. He was still in despair. Everything has its limits, huh? This stupid game. Whatever, I'll still use this momentum to strike. Die. But it seemed Jae-hyun had greatly underestimated the warrior bear. Time seemed to stand still. In the end, Jae-hyun could only laugh bitterly. So pathetic. Forget this damn skill. After being slammed into the wall by the warrior bear, he sighed wearily. It's too strong. I can't control it. Remembering something, Jae-hyun became pensive. At least, I broke a piece of its armor. But what then, with this crappy skill? I can't hit its critical weak spots. The warrior bear's immense power was clearly giving Jae-hyun a very hard time. He continuously dodged its attacks. In that case, Bone Sphere. Information appeared. Bone Sphere creates a magical explosion. A large explosion erupted in this place. The bear warrior immediately charged forward to attack. Seeing how stubborn it was made Jae-hyun extremely annoyed. This beast is so resilient. Fine. I'll abandon a head-on strategy. The skeleton soldiers have also appeared here. You have resurrected the skeleton army with magic. He quickly stepped forward. It's time to fight like a necromancer. All right, I'm getting serious now. That was just a careless mistake. Golem, you're up. From beneath the ground, a giant golem warrior appeared. It was incredibly powerful and immediately rushed to attack the bear warrior. The two sides furiously exchanged punches and kicks. Seizing the moment, Jae-hyun smiled and held out his hand. There it is. Fortify. A notification appeared. Fortify strengthens the golem's body. He snapped his fingers again to issue a command. The sword will be temporarily stuck there. Seizing the opportunity, the skeleton soldier leaped into the air to fight the bear warrior. The relentless barrage of powerful blows left it unable to react in time. Looking at its state, Jae-hyun let out a laugh. Don't get mad now. I've still got another big one, you know. Don't let your guard down. At that moment, intense flames erupted on the bear warrior's body. Jae-hyun was startled, realizing something was wrong with the plan. He turned his head and shouted angrily, "Wait until I'm done before you shoot! Are you trying to kill me?" The bear warrior went completely berserk. The bear warrior uses battle cry, recovering 50% of its health. It continuously charged at Jae-hyun to attack. He sighed, a bit helplessly. The computer ruined the battle plan. Whoever's faster wins. His hand slowly moved forward. Another space-shattering explosion occurred. The skeleton soldier watched silently from the side with worry. Jae-hyun felt incredibly excited, continuously throwing bombs at the bear warrior. Time passed until a few minutes later. Finally, Jae-hyun was victorious. A notification appeared. You have defeated the bear warrior. You have gained experience. You have received 101,354 gold. Challenge quest from Mong complete. He silently recalled, in my past life, it took a whole party just to beat this thing. And yet now I've taken it down all by myself. I wasn't mistaken. A joyous smile spread across his face. Jae-hyun jumped to the ground. You all did great. Go back, report in, and get to the next mission. Bear warrior hunt quest complete. Shut up. If you guys fought like that, you'd have died 6 times by now. In the blink of an eye, the scene shifted to a tavern near West Vulcus. Haechi sat dejectedly inside the tavern. The more he thought about it, the more tired he felt. Haechi despaired, running his hands through his hair. I'm out of options. There's no trace of the Haho mask anywhere. I've scoured the mountains for days, but the video he posted is attracting people like ants. Finding him is like looking for a needle in a haystack. If I go back empty-handed, Lady Syl will kill me. But why would she make me search the entire mountain by myself? I hope this toxic guild disbands soon. A notification appeared on his watch. Incoming call from Syl. Just that one call was enough to fill Haechi with absolute terror. Shiru. Mistress Syl, it's not what you think. I didn't mean to... Seo-hyun suddenly spoke up. Thank you. You've worked hard. The situation was so unexpected that it startled even him. She sighed and continued her story. Thinking back on it now, I probably pushed you too hard. Searching the entire mountain alone, even for you. That must have been exhausting, right? His eyes began to sparkle. Shiru. I don't mind at all, really. So does that mean I can go back? Seo-hyun suddenly cut him off. I've sent Ha-hui to you. The atmosphere here was instantly shattered. He noticed a large hole punched through the wall. Seo-hyun continued to instruct, you two find him together. Ha-hui slowly stood up and spoke, Haechi, you idiot. It's all your fault that I'm stuck out here now. She is the Thunder Princess, Ha-hui of the Thunder Hunters Guild. Nickname, Mad Dog, who hates Haechi. A strange smile appeared on his face. He was completely fed up with this life. Damn it. Jae-hyun set foot in the next vast area. Vilkas is really crowded now. It's even formed a small town. Well, it seems most players have realized this is where the important quest takes place. I have to get back there quickly. Jae-hyun immediately began leaping from one side to the other. Suddenly, a few men chasing after him caught his attention. He immediately observed the group. It's those guys. Their outfits are identical to those thugs from before. Are they back for revenge? Jae-hyun readied himself for a fight. Oh God, not again. Get to the point. Don't beat around the bush. Don't waste our time. They didn't forget to beg either. Please, spare us! This situation left him completely speechless. What is this? I haven't even done anything. But just a few seconds later, all 3 members of the Apollo Guild had been completely dealt with. Jae-hyun flinched and turned his head. What? Hahui's voice rang out. Begging to live? You cowards! He immediately recognized the 2 of them. His expression gradually changed. They are members of the Glitch Hunters. While Jae-hyun was still lost in thought, Hahui asked a question. You're the Haho mask, aren't you? Jae-hyun thought to himself, in the Glitch Hunters, she's ranked 2nd. Hahui, nicknamed the Electric Princess or Mad Dog. She does whatever Sil says, and she wouldn't be afraid to go to hell and back for him. A true fanatic. And over there, he's ranked 3rd in the Glitch Hunters. Heichi, nicknamed Ballista. Once he takes aim, he never misses. A genius mage. In my past life, running into these 2 was a nightmare. And now I've run into them right here? They're looking for the Haho mask, so they must want to recruit me. I'd love to take them down, but that's not possible right now. And so, Jae-hyun immediately played dumb. Haho mask? Who's that? Never heard of him. He calculated in his head, just keep denying it. They don't have any proof. What can they do to me? Just then, Hahui stepped closer and coldly remarked, Liar. There's no one around Mount Vuilcus who doesn't know the Haho mask. Your clip has already surpassed 20 million views. You're very suspicious. Looking closely, that cloak seems familiar too. Are you sure you're not him? Jae-hyun's expression gradually changed. This girl... Heichi quickly stepped forward to intervene. That's enough. Now is not the time to discuss that. What we need to talk about here is the inn that you destroyed, the people you killed just because they looked suspicious. How do you plan to deal with this mess? Everyone knows who our guild is. How can we possibly cover this up? Apologize now before you ruin our reputation even more. Hahui remained stubborn. What? Why should I have to apologize? Jae-hyun was at a loss for words. These guys, are they always like this? How pathetic. She turned her face away. Fine, I'm sorry, okay? Are you happy now? Seeing this, Heichi got even angrier. What kind of half-assed apology was that? We apologize, just enjoy the moment. Jae-hyun finally let out a sigh of relief. At least that's one mess taken care of. Just then a powerful punch flew at him, giving him no time to react. Hahui attacked him without a moment's hesitation. Just like that, he was sent flying backward pitifully. Heichi watched this unfold in despair. Why are you hitting people again? Are you trying to live up to your Mad Dog nickname? He sighed and complained. I thought he would have dodged that. At that moment, Jae-hyun reminded her, You dare strike an innocent person? Both of them immediately paid attention. I've had enough of this. I'm going to sue the Fault Hunters for organized violence. First things first, I'll post an expose on the forums. Toxic Guild Fault Hunters bullying a newbie. Heichi quickly put out a hand to stop him. I'm sorry. I'll compensate you. Please, don't post it. Following that, he pulled out a pile of money and offered it to Jae-hyun. He took it without hesitation. 1,053 gold coins, huh? All right, I'll let this go. Heichi smiled and nodded. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Let's go. Dealing with this is going to give me a stroke. Hahui was still furious. I know. Let's just go. Jae-hyun slowly removed his disguise. What a pain. But this is the only way for now. If I make another mistake, I'll regret it. Just a little more effort. Later, Heichi asked curiously, Why do you always have to start trouble? Don't you know that big guilds live and die by their public image? Hahui sighed and explained, Normally, when people see a punch coming, they dodge. He turned back, annoyed. Are you blaming the victim for not dodging your punch? She quickly shook her head. No, that's not it. What I mean is, that guy, he looked clearly furious at the time. Back then, the look on Jae-hyun's face was extremely upset, which caught her attention. Hahui complained as she walked. He was obviously very suspicious. Heichi reminded her coldly, Please, just try to act decently for once. She immediately ordered, Shut up, you useless thing. Don't you dare order me around. He sighed. Oh God, This guild is going to make me old before my time. A bear in full armor fighting like a knight. The 12th thing no one noticed was the warrior bear armor fragment. Elsewhere, Mong spoke up. Clearly, something big is happening here. Thank you. If it weren't for you, many more people would have died. But are you okay? Jae-hyun was a little worried. Well, he thought to himself, I need to get going. Those level 30 guilds are about to catch up. He suddenly placed the treasure mirror on the table. By the way, take your pick. Any one of them is fine. Seeing this, Jae-hyun was startled. Aren't these... He continued to declare, I drew these maps while traveling all over Mount Vulcus, marking the monster lairs I visited. His eyes widened as far as they could go. In other words, these are treasure maps. Dungeons filled with rare items and high-grade equipment. Just as he was about to take them, Mong reminded him, but before you do, I need a favor. Of course. Jae-hyun turned his head, annoyed. There's always a catch. He spoke with a sad tone. I've heard that armored monsters have started appearing on the other side of Mount Vulcus. Please go and check it out, just like last time. He nodded in understanding. Understood, sir. What is the specific location? Mong calmly announced, Parung Forest. Noticing the strange look on his face, he asked in surprise, Is something wrong? He immediately shook his head. No, it's nothing. But inside he felt incredibly weary. Oh, for crying out loud. Parung Forest is a level 90 hunting zone. I guess I'll have to level up along the way. What a hassle. Perhaps the most viable route is Shura Canyon, where the level 75 goat demons appear. I've already defeated the warrior bear. A goat demon shouldn't be a problem. Let's just focus on leveling up quickly. Realizing something wasn't right, Jae-hyun was surprised. But wait a second. Why is he here? Matador turned his head. Oh, so it's you. He quickly recognized him. Matador Shev. Elsewhere, Hechi was crying his eyes out pathetically. Lady Sil, I can't go on with this crazy girl anymore. Ha-hui reminded him irritably. What did you just say? Seol-hyun burst out laughing. Hechi, Ha-hui, you two seem to be having a hard time. He continued to recount everything. Honestly, it's not that I don't want to help, but I've heard the Red Ox Guild has already taken control of the entire Shura Canyon. Shouldn't we focus on our main mission, Lady Sil? Why are we chasing after someone who clearly wants nothing to do with our guild? Right after that, she gave an order to stop hunting for the Ha-ho mask. The error hunter would join the main mission directly. He felt relieved, knowing he could count on her, Lady Sil. The call ended quickly. Seol-hyun leaned back in her seat. A strange smile bloomed on her face. The strong always attract the strong. Let's see how much longer you can hide, Ha-ho mask. In the next episode, this chapter won't be aired. The bone soldiers on the side were extremely bored.